Hey guys, good morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to another ABG stream. I'm your gracious host, and tonight we have kind of an unexpected topic. I actually had two other topics lined up. I had a debate review and another stream, but I saw this in my feed as I was about to go down for my first sleep last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's debating. Yes, that's right. Sarah, the Raging Tomato, has done a debate. I think this is her first formal debate against like an actual debater. This one was against Owlish. Owlish is, from what I understand, because I was paired against this person once in a 3v3 on horseradishes, a left-leaning debater. The topic is, should traditional gender roles have a place in modern society? From what I understand, Sarah took the affirmative on this, but we'll see. This is the first view for me as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to be watching tonight. And considering that the woman has moderated 3 of my debates, and some people have said that she did a not so great job, this will be very cathartic for me, as I'm sure it will be for you. Welcome in, Blocked Party. Buddha, good to see you, sir. Lick the whole boot. I love that name. That one's so funny. Hello, good to see you. Mrs. D, welcome in. What is this? Sarah is debating gender norms. Yes, that's right. You heard it here first, folks. This just happened tonight, so I have to move. If there's a Brian Shapiro thing or like Sarah the Raging Tomato and I want to cover it, I have to cover it as soon as I can. Otherwise, Cool Vic, that bugger, beats me to the punch with his amazing content. So here I am. John Rambo, good to see you, sir. Crucible Crusader, welcome in, sir. And yeah, Crusader is based, Buddha. All right, what do you guys think? Should we get this show on the road? Should we see how she does? See if she can debate effectively as a conservative? Let's get this going. And just let me know if it's too fast, if the audio is bad. Just let me know any of that stuff as per usual.
We're going to just have an alternate solution. We'll use the Google time. So here we go. All right, whenever you're ready for it, go ahead.
1.5 is going to be too fast because Gibbs speaks at 1.5.
Oh, I gotta watch that. Do I have to watch it? Or wait, do I have to?
I'm gonna post up again. Ready? Go.
Okay, where's Sarah? You see ya.
Oh no, why is it not? Now it's not working. How do I step out of it? There we go. I'll just step out of it. Now everything froze.
All right, I'm just gonna tell you when your time's up. I'll give you a 30-second heads up, and then you got 30 seconds. All right, cool. 7 minutes starting.
Hold on, everything's froze. Like everything's.
This is the problem I was having when I was trying to log in with my stream. Everything kept like freezing as soon as it started.
Stream. Try again. Okay. I am not going to click watch stream again. That was detrimental. All right.
We ready?
Mm-hmm.
And go.
All right. Tonight's debate asks a simple question. Should traditional gender roles still have a place in modern society? Now, before you start drafting my cancellation letter, no, I'm not going to argue women should lose the right to vote. No, I'm not arguing women belong barefoot in the kitchen. I wear shoes. I'm not arguing every woman should become.
She's a boss babe.
Become a stay-at-home mother, because despite what the internet believes, it actually is possible to promote something without banning every alternative. Crazy concept. I'm arguing something much simpler. Society should encourage the family structure that produces the best outcomes. We already do this with everything else. We promote education, marriage, brushing your teeth, wearing seatbelts, eating vegetables. We don't outlaw donuts. We don't make cavities illegal. We simply recognize that some choices tend to produce better outcomes than others. Apparently, it's only controversial when the topic is motherhood. Now, I'd like to introduce you to 2 women. They're neighbors. They're married. They both have 3 children. They both love their children more than anything else in the world. They both have the exact same legal rights. The only difference is the life they've chosen. Let's meet Samantha. Samantha is 30 years old, married to her high school sweetheart, homeschools her 3 children. Terrifying. Somebody call the Feminist Emergency Response Team. Every morning, Samantha wakes up, makes breakfast. The family sits down around the table. Dad leaves for work. Nobody is sprinting through the house screaming, "Where's your other shoe?" Nobody's trying to convince a 6-year-old that technically a Pop-Tart counts as breakfast because they're already running late. Nobody's blood pressure has reached NASA levels before 8 o'clock. Instead, the kids brush their teeth, they make their beds, they do a few chores, they learn responsibility, then around 10 o'clock, school begins. Not inside a classroom with 20 other children fighting one teacher's attention, but on 1-on-3 at the kitchen table. Mom slows down if one child struggles, speeds up if another excels, throws the schedule out entirely if somebody wakes up sick. Imagine that, an education that revolves around the child instead of revolving around the government schedule. Now, where reality becomes incredibly inconvenient, by homeschooling her 3 children.
This is all like a nothing burger. She's like, this could happen to you. Look at this scenario that I just made up in my head.
Samantha saves taxpayers nearly $50,000 every single year that would otherwise be spent educating the same children in public school.
Okay.
Instead, she spends roughly $4,500 educating all 3 herself. Same multiplication tables, different invoice. If Comcast charged 10 times more than Verizon for the exact same internet speed, Congress would hold hearings. But when government does it, apparently we're supposed to clap. And despite spending dramatically less, homeschooled students routinely score 15 to 30 percentile points higher on standardized tests than public school students.
Did she take that from my homeschooling debate?
Turns out having one teacher who loves you isn't the worst educational model ever invented. After lessons, they go to the library, visit museums, play at parks, take field trips. Lunch isn't served by someone wearing plastic gloves trying to remember whether today is pizza rectangle day or mystery meat Wednesday. Mom actually cooked because the one person most invested in whether those children become healthy adults is still, in fact, their mother. Now, here's my favorite statistic. According to Forbes, if Samantha stopped doing everything she does and her family had to outsource it, cooking, cleaning, childcare, transportation, tutoring, household management, everything, it would cost roughly $1 million over 20 years. Yet somehow the internet calls Samantha unemployed. That's adorable. Apparently, raising the next generation only counts as work if a corporation signs your
She is technically unemployed.
paycheck. Otherwise, you're just
Does she think that stay-at-home mothers should be like paid by their husbands?
wasting your potential. Samantha's husband earns about $70,000 a year. People hear that and immediately assume she's financially dependent. But here's the part that never gets mentioned. Because Samantha stays home, they only need one vehicle, one insurance payment, one registration, one gas bill, one commuter, no after-school care, no summer daycare, no paying strangers to raise the children. And again, according to Forbes, the value of Samantha's unpaid labor is roughly equivalent to earning about $50,000 a year. Funny enough, that's right around what the average single woman earns working
Oh, I'm dying to know if she has statistics on this
full
stuff.
time. So the woman everybody keeps calling unemployed is quietly contributing the equivalent of another full-time salary without sending her kids to daycare, without spending hours commuting, and while actually getting to raise the children she chose to bring into this world. Not bad for someone society says has no career. Now, let's walk next door. Meet Sam. Sam also loves her children. She's also trying her best. She simply bought a different promise. Go to college, build your career, become financially independent, girl boss, lean in, breaking the glass ceiling, rise and grind, LinkedIn, motivational quotes, 47 inspirational coffee mugs. She and her husband each make about $60,000 a year. Sounds fantastic until girl math ain't suddenly mathing anymore, because now you've got daycare, after school care, summer care, second vehicle, second insurance payment, second registration, twice the gas, twice the maintenance, professional wardrobes.
I hate these like long drawn out openings just to like paint a picture. It's like, we get it. Like, get to the point. Get to the freaking point, lady.
Convenience meals, morning Starbucks, because apparently caffeine is cheaper than therapy. And before long, the second income starts looking less like financial independence and more like an incredibly expensive hobby. Every morning she begins at what scientists refer to as the ass crack of dawn. Nobody can find shoes. Someone forgot homework. Dad's looking for his keys. Mom's looking for the last
The crack of dawn?
remaining fragment of her sanity. Breakfast, whatever legally qualifies as food before the school bus arrives. A quick wave, a kiss goodbye. The kids disappear. The mom disappears. Dad disappears. Everyone spends the next 9 hours making someone else rich. School lets out around 3. Mom and dad don't get home till 5. So after school care,
Yes.
another bill. Summer comes. Now it's full-time childcare, another bill. And here's the part that absolutely fascinates me. Mom goes to work to earn money to pay somebody else to raise children that she thinks she went to work for. Ladies and gentlemen, the math ain't mathing. That's not empowerment. That's a hamster wheel with direct deposit. And despite this supposedly equal partnership, Pew Research still found something even more fascinating. Even in egalitarian marriages, women still spend significantly more time doing childcare and more time doing housework than their husbands. So, congratulations, modern society liberated women by giving them all of the traditional responsibilities plus a full-time job. That's a hell of a trade. Now, before my opponent gets excited, let's save the rebuttal. No, I'm not saying Sam is a bad mother. I'm saying she's living exactly the life modern society sold her. This isn't an attack on Sam. It's an attack on the sales pitch. We've completely inverted what we value. Now, here's the part where I stop joking, because this part isn't funny. Children only get one childhood. Parents only get one chance to be there for it. You can always earn another dollar. You cannot earn another first birthday. You cannot buy another first step. You cannot purchase another bedtime story. You cannot Amazon Prime another afternoon in the park. Those moments expire. My argument tonight is not that every woman should live the life that Samantha's life. Freedom means people will make different choices, and they should have that freedom. My argument is simpler. We should stop pretending that every choice produces the same outcome, because they don't. If one family model costs taxpayers less, costs families less, keep the parents and their children longer, allows parents to actually raise their children,
finish up.
Then why are we embarrassed to promote it? I'll stop there.
All right. Well, we got to get 5 seconds.
Okay. Oh, we got some new people. Yes, Jess. I am trying to give you nightmares. Nobody. Yeah, this is going to be interesting or horrible. I'm not really sure. And Johnny Dollar also joined. So did Crack Baby Go. Welcome in all of the newbies. Hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, so I just want to remind everybody that the prompt is, should traditional gender roles still have a place in modern society? And from what I understand, Sarah's on the affirmative. And so far, all she's sold us is like a tax benefit in it's still wrapped up in feminist lingo with a whole bunch of like made up stories about potential realities for women. So in short, I think that was a bad opening. Okay.
5 seconds. You have now broke Baby Liberty's record. On
Took way too long.
That is
way too long.
Also, before I turn it over to Alice, because I
think we're all dumber having listened to that.
There's the format for the audience. Chat, 7-minute openings. This is the revised version of DCS that we're doing here today. No judges, so I'm going to just ask questions where the judges' periods would be. If there's super chats or some other shit that happens, then no, I probably won't read your shit, because fuck you. But give me your money anyway. So
I always feel like he's gasping for breath when he's trying to say something. I'm like, just take a breath, dude. Like, just stop and take a breath, man.
All right, here we go. Alice, 7 minutes, starting now. Go ahead. Thank you.
I know.
Okay, well, I did have my own. I did my own statement written out, but I'm actually going to try to respond to yours instead. Is my audio okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will start off with the things I have written down, but define what is a gender role.
I try not to do this. Like, I cover a bit of what my opponent says in opening, but I try not to rewrite my statement, because I always find it like sounds really choppy, unless it's like completely different from what your opponent said. Why would you just scrap it? I guess we'll see.
I think you kind of said it was stay-at-home mom, taking care of the kids, kind of being the family support, as well as being the household support rather than getting a job. I guess that was also the second question that I had written down, which was what traditional gender roles.
So this is Owlish, Mrs. D. I believe she's a leftist debater. She, from what I understand, she debates primarily on Twitch. I've seen her on Horseradishes, his whole debate circuit. I was almost against her as a captain in a 3v3 on gender norms. So she's basically already prepared for this debate. So unless she didn't prepare. Are we not men? Wait, is the tomato debating? Yes. Yes. She is on the conservative side. Yes. Welcome in, Gas Mask. Section 230, good to see you. And I guess hi and bye. I'm going to bed, but refreshed my feed and saw your live, so popped and hit like. Thank you so much, sir. Chat, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, ABG. Chat, stay based, healthy, and blessed. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Are there to follow. And additionally, you also answered the question that I was going to bring up about how far should we roll back these gender roles in terms of, like, should we abolish the 19th Amendment? You already said no. So
why even bring it up?
We got that out of the way. And then
no shit, Sherlock.
No barefoot in the kitchen. I would prefer barefoot in the kitchen, no shoes in the house. That's my rule. Okay. Do not like shoes in the house.
Ew.
And women, in my opinion, are
not the drink, just people. Sorry, if you're barefoot in your own house, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I'm deeply scarred by a certain body part. All right, Dr. Functional, welcome in, sir. Good to see you.
gender role in the fact that they're able to have children. If people are unable to have children, do they no longer fit that role, or what's their role in life? Like, say you have a woman who is
Oh yeah, WWD too.
who
Thanks
doesn't
for saying
have a family. She's a single person. She's single, or she's a she's married and they don't have kids, or she's just a one of those childless cat ladies that everybody's so afraid of. What if she's one of those? Those people still have, you know, a lot to contribute to life. Are they not necessarily following these gender roles that we've set up? What does their life look like when compared to like?
I hate. I'm not saying I haven't done it. I probably have, but I hate when people like ask a bunch of questions or like use made up scenarios in their opening. Make your points, be concise, get to it. Like, what is all these like, oh, to be or not to be? That is the question. Or you go in these like, you know, Sarah did a whole bunch of convoluted examples that never actually occurred. Not sure what that means. Crack baby go. I typed out a comment over there saying, how do you define gender roles, says gas mask, as a joke? And the woman taking the negative literally said it. Yes, Mrs. D. Crocs are ugly. Sorry, croc lovers.
Like
they're not pretty.
Or
okay?
I'm sorry, I forgot the other person's name.
Samantha and Sam.
Oh, Samantha. Okay, so it's Samantha and Sam. Sorry, that's why I missed it. So, so Samantha, does her life is her life supposed to look like Samantha, or is she not following traditional gender roles? And I want to reply to a few of the things that you mentioned. Stay-at-home moms are not, as you kind of hinted at, that they're earning money. The same amount of money is still spent because they're unable to contribute to a health insurance. They're unable to contribute to car insurance or life insurance. They don't.
Scott hits the nail on the head. Yeah, we have one opponent that went on about these made up scenarios for like friggin' the entirety of her time, making very little points. And the other one is struggling now. And this is the problem, like I said, with reinventing the wheel for your opening, is she's now like struggling to remember what she said. So she didn't take notes and she hasn't like reformulated yet, from what I can see, is a cohesive opening statement. This is why I don't do this. Hey, Cree Dog, welcome in, sir. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Scott, it's a bunch of prattle.
No, they can't contribute to buying the groceries. They can do, you know, childcare, obviously, but the supplies that they're going to need to buy for the kids, that's going to cost money that they're not making. And additionally, the cost that would go to the state, it's going to be paid anyway. It's more so because school costs are actually paid to your district from your, what is it called? Your, sorry, I forgot the word.
Property value.
Property values. Thank you. They're actually paid from your property values. There's also something to be said about homeschooling depending upon what state you're in, because several states actually have very lax homeschooling rules. So like there are some that like you can literally just tell the district that you're schooling your kids, and there's absolutely they won't even check in on you. It's very far and in between. I believe Kentucky is one of the places that has very lax rules, or it's either Kentucky or Indiana. Both of them have extremely lax rules. The kids in those states regularly have lower they have lower instances of homeschooling, of learning things from homeschooling, because they're just not regulated. They don't have to follow any sort of structure. They don't have to follow any sort of like I'm forgetting the word again. Whatever. They don't have to follow any
standardized testing, from what I understand, is present. I did a bunch of homeschool debates, but yeah, I understand that there's different requirements amongst
anything like that. And then overall, you're kind of striking the father out in terms of dealing with having time to spend with his kids, because he's going to be going to work, earning all the money, earning all of the vacation, earning all of the pay, earning all of the health insurance, earning life insurance, everything for the kids. And you're kind of divorcing him from the idea that you brought up, or the idyllic thing that you brought up of spending time with the kids. It seems like only the mother is going to be able to spend time with kids if the father is constantly at work. But there is something to be said about Sam, who I would assume that both of them, Sam and the father and her husband, or Sam and her husband, have vacation time in the
Sam and the father and her husband. Did she just make a cuck joke by accident?
Summer, they'll be able to take time for their kids. I would assume also the kids are going to eventually go to school, so they are not necessarily going to need after school care, because at a certain point they might need it for a little bit, or hopefully they have family. But this kind of presents more of a problem with the work structure, not necessarily with them having jobs. because the American like employment, it's very draconian in my opinion, because a lot of places do have free childcare. A lot of places have like after school care. When I was in school, there was free after school care, but I'm not sure if that's offered in many places. And then there's also like camps and stuff.
Yeah, but then you're in the public school
Stuff
system,
that happened
right?
during the summer. However, again, this is to be said that this is a problem with the actual overall structure of the work environment, not necessarily that both parents have a job.
Keeps happening with his desktop.
I don't see how this applies to gender roles, because the job being shitty doesn't really change anything. And I'm just looking over my notes. Again, these are just problems with working and non-working parents. Sorry, my cat is like making a cacophony over there.
Are you the cat lady?
Yes.
Don't announce that
Well, my
during
cats have
a
been on one all
debate.
day, so that's fine. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds.
Things I don't mention during a debate.
I'm good. Actually, that kind of
Things not to mention during a debate. Oh, my animal's distracting me. Oh, yeah, sorry, I barely prepared for this thing. I only got a couple hours of sleep. Sorry, I need to look through my notes.
like wraps up what I was going to say. We can just get right into it.
Like,
Sure. Actually, first, before we do that, a word from our sponsor, Sonic. It's always half price in the app. Anyway, go ahead.
The hedgehog?
as if.
No,
he's
the wonderful
sponsored by
Texas-based
Sonic.
company here, Sonic. It's wonderful. It's half price in the app. Get your Route 44 now.
Do they have roller skates there? Do they do the roller
I don't
skates?
think that's true.
Some of them do. It's optional.
In the,
I
in the north?
was a roller skate girl at Sonic for
Really?
like,
Oh my
yeah, I was
gosh.
like 16, I think. Yeah.
He literally stopped running the opening statement timer for this conversation. You've got to be joking.
In the north, do they do ice skates?
Well, I was out in the Midwest during that time, but yeah.
I'm also going to put the, in a second, I'm going to put the stream together link in the back if anyone else is doing
Oh, Lord.
But give me one moment. Go ahead. Wherever you are. Fight!
Okay. Did you want to start? Do you feel any need to define gender role at this time? Because I know you mentioned that in the very beginning. I think we probably have a very
Wait, was she done her opening statement?
similar idea of what a gender role is, or do you feel the need to
mushroom.
go through and actually define it?
Yeah, I specifically.
The debate, are we not men, is should traditional gender roles still have a place in modern society? I believe the tomato, dressed appropriately in red, is on the affirmative, and this woman over here, Owlish, is she's on the negative.
I don't think there's any like specific thing called a gender role. I just think that there is a mother and a father, or in the case of couples that are non-traditional, you have a father and a father, a mother and a mother. So like it doesn't really make sense to me that we're still like using gender role to define it, unless you're just kind of using it as a catch-all for like one parent staying home and one parent working. So like how would that work in a non-traditional?
Is Owlish? I've heard something like that, Korea Dog, but I don't want to speak on that for fear of
marriage.
being,
Mhm. Yeah. So, well, let's go ahead and just define it. Gender role.
gonna
I just
call
pulled
it
up the
Owlish,
Britannica
I'm gonna do.
definition. Gender role: a culturally and socially determined set of expected behaviors, attitudes, and characteristics based on concepts of masculinity masculinity and
Ask Korea Dog,
femininity.
crack if you
A gender
don't.
role should not
I
be
don't
confused
know.
with gender identity. Yada yada yada. That kind of easy and to the point.
Yeah, but again, that
Okay.
kind of begs the question. That kind of begs the question of like in a non-traditional
Okay,
in a
Christina.
non-traditional marriage or a non-traditional household, such as an extended family, who is taking on that gender role, especially if it's a gay couple?
Well, I think that's why we're kind of where we are in this conversation. So, gender role is based on masculine versus feminine, and we could put like a virtue to that, right? What would a virtue of a masculine role versus a feminine role be?
Hey, Mushroom, you're only allowed to sim for DSD, remember? Yeah, I actually wore makeup the other night. That was fun. But am I going to get up after my first nap and put on a full face of makeup? Probably not. I mean, never say never, but you never know.
Correct. Men, we could ideally say providers, protectors. That's societally, it's the acceptable answer for what's a masculine man versus
Good question,
femininity.
Crusader.
We think of motherhood, nurturing, caring, so on and so forth. Correct.
Roles.
Okay. But who can
Not
actually
those rules.
become a mother? Who can actually
Functional.
give birth? In that aspect, I would say women can only give birth at this time, right?
Would you
Wait,
think
wait,
that a
wait,
person?
so wait, are you saying that the only gender role is giving birth?
No, but I'm going to put that
Yeah,
as the
just-
monolith
hello?
here.
Just asking clarification.
Yeah, I was about to ask that question.
Oh,
Hello.
Sorry, I was asking
I was about
clarification
to
for me.
say-
I was confused. So go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
okay. So if a woman is born
Hello?
sterile, is she not a woman?
She is still a woman, but her gender role, like that's why we defined it, right? We're going back to culturally and socially defined expectations of behaviors, attitudes, and characteristics. Mm-hmm. Now, she could still be sterile and not be able to become a mother, but she could still therefore promote the idea of women becoming mothers, right? Or help support that idea of women becoming mothers.
How could she support that idea?
Well, you could become a midwife per se. You could do a role that would actually help assist in that factor. You may not be able to become a.
I hate this idea that I'm actually, oh my God, I'm going to side with Sarah on this one. I hate the idea that you need to like be walking the walk in order to promote a lifestyle. If that was true, I wouldn't even be in the conservative debating sphere, you know?
Mother, but you also wouldn't want to become like if they were to say things like women should have abortions or women shouldn't be stay-at-home mothers or something like that. That wouldn't be supporting that role, right?
Well, I guess technically a woman who is not sterile, or I mean, a woman who is sterile who works at an abortion clinic is doing exactly what she was meant to do. Make other people sterile. Make sure that they don't have babies.
And that helps promote society, the betterment of society?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's giving women the choice of whether or not they want to be a mother.
Whether or not they want to be a mother stopped at when they open up their legs and let a man blow the proverbial, you know what, inside of them.
But on a serious note, what if that person who's sterile decides to become a teacher? That's
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
hey, Nate, good to see ya. 07 Morning Lady says, Nate with the big 5. Thank you very much for your patronage and good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're watching Sarah the Raging Tomato debate, gender norms.
Still exceptions to every rule, correct?
Yeah, there's exceptions to the rule, but like this then is considered a gender role, right? Like teaching, nurturing.
Yeah. So
should this woman who is sterile, should she become a midwife? Or do you think it would be more productive if she became a teacher and actually had a job?
She could still become a teacher. We're not annihilating schools altogether, right? Again, there are still exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, that wasn't the implication. The implication here is that I don't think it's necessary for a woman to abide to any gender role just because, you know, society says so, because there's more nuance to
Can a woman become a Navy SEAL?
Society than just being a woman who can have birth and a woman who can't have birth and she does something else because, like, what if she's single?
My Lord.
If she's single or if she's married and doesn't have kids and they don't have kids, what exactly would you expect her to do?
Well, that's the idea of promoting that type of propaganda in order to promote the idea of wanting to get married and have children, because her duty to society would therefore be to help promote the population, help make the babies in which society we will have.
Yeah, but what about adoption? What if she worked in an adoption clinic?
These are all like exceptions. These are all exceptions to the rule, right?
Yeah,
you mentioned
exactly.
Women being born sterile. That's an exception to the rule. It doesn't negate the fact that she's still a woman. It doesn't take away her ability to help other women want to become mothers or help her maneuver through life as best as she can. It also doesn't negate her from adopting children. You can adopt all you want, but it doesn't increase the population either. So therefore, women are kind of charged with that duty of promoting the birth rate here in society. Like, we are the only thing here that can have babies, correct? So if let's say 40% of the women decide not to help promote decide that they don't want to have children, well, that's a big problem for society, because that's a stark number that increases very significantly in the other direction, in which we need to continue making people for the society in which we want.
So why do we need to increase the population? Like, what is the need for that?
Well, even if you wanted to keep the population at pace, right, you still need people. Who's going to take care of the elders, right? We have our elders who are running around doing their own thing, and eventually they're going to need somebody to. Well, yeah, probably not running around, rolling around. They're rolling around. We need to take care of them. But if mom and dad are still working in the workforce, grandma and grandpa need somebody to take care of. Right? How are they? And now all you're doing is putting them in a nursing home, and now you're getting away from the betterment of society all over again.
Well, you don't necessarily have to put them in a nursing home.
Well, who's going to take care of them?
Their spouse, if they have one.
They're both 87 years old, and neither one of them can wipe their own ass.
Okay, so at this point, you don't dump people in nursing homes. There are more eloquent solutions to this. There's senior living facilities, which are not nursing homes necessarily. They're just like housing units for like elderly people. And if you spent your entire life, especially if they spent their entire life and they're earning a pension, they should be able to put that towards that. And then if you were working your entire life and you saved enough money, considering, you would.
I don't know why she's trying to sell this, but I can guarantee you that very few people, their literal end of life dream is to pay a random person to take care of them and to depend on that random person in probably a institutional facility, right? Like a care home to care for them. Pretty sure nobody wants that.
50 yourself,
Okay.
maybe 60
Welcome to
yourself.
the Republican Party, by the way. I love
Republican.
Just kidding. This is a very conservative argument you're making here. I like it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, this is just logical, right? This is just logical. If you were saving money your entire life, I mean, I would hope this is something that everybody should do. Given that that the modern work, job market actually supports it. But anyway, you'd be around 50 or 60 yourself if your parents are 87. So at this point, you're almost ready to retire. So,
but if we have all of those people entering into the senior assisted living homes, nursing homes, so on and so forth, and we're not increasing our birth rate to have people who are going to eventually work those jobs, right? Then how are we going to support that system above us?
What do you mean? I would think that they don't have jobs. The elderly people who are 87 years old.
Right. Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to work those jobs at the nursing homes, the senior assisted living?
Oh, what do you mean? The people, I don't know, maybe the single mother. Maybe if our birth rate keeps going down,
maybe
right?
Single mother doesn't exist.
Right, then we're at a tier where we have, let's just use smaller numbers to understand it visually, but we have 1,000 people and only half of them made babies. So then we have 500 people and only half of them made babies, and now only 250 of them and only half of them made babies. So how are you going to support the system above you if you're not making as much or more people to support the system above you? Who's taking care of them?
So why do we need the population that we have? So why do we need such a large population? Because
infrastructure, lady. Come on.
We've supported society with a much lower population. And if you consider it, a lower population would actually mean more money per person and more
really? Yes,
more things per person. More resources per person. And I'm not saying
resources.
Genocide.
Who are you buying to come help you? Who are you buying? What things are you buying to assist you if there's nobody underneath your support system to build those things or do those jobs or perform those roles? You still need to replace
buy people anymore.
I mean, by hiring somebody to do something, right? If there's no support system below you to complete those tasks, then.
Guys, do you think Sarah's going to win? I'm going to do a pre end of debate poll. Do you think she's going to win this against this seasoned debater?
That
I know we're
useless.
all biased because
let me look at unemployment rates in the U.S. Let me use my friend Google AI overview. The unemployment rate is 4.2% as of June 2026. If we lost a bit of the population, not in any bad way, just normal losing population, maybe those 4.2% of people or 4.2% of the population can get jobs and help, right?
Even at that, future roll it. Okay, that still doesn't support the system above you. Even if all of those people went to work right now, there are still more people older than us, right? I keep saying above, but I mean in terms of older than us, the generations before us, there are still more of them versus what we have now versus what we're going to have later versus what we're going to have after that. So even if that 4.2% goes to work, it doesn't matter because we still don't have enough people. We're not even replacing ourselves at the same rate, right? So our support system is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. If we continue down this path of not making it, not promoting the idea of women should be having children because it is their duty, right, to society to produce these children, right? One woman can't do it all, right? We need everybody, all hands on deck. So if we're not reproducing and if we're not procreating to mass numbers to help support that system, then the system above us is going to collapse because we're not there to help it.
Well, they're already not contributing. So if I'm looking at a population counter and it looks like...
So let's make it worse.
The population of 60 and above is 0.57%. That can't be right. Hold on.
Yes, are we not men? They make up half of my face. Okay, glasses are huge.
Yeah, it's 1 to 2% of the population is 60 or older, getting less and less and less as we go up. So it seems like in the population of the United States right now, that's 342,700,000.
Nobody has bigger glasses than me.
728,534. That's the current United States population. I don't see why there is any need for us when let's look in 1990 what the population was.
Why you look that up? I have a question because I'm very.
There were 248,709,873 people in 1990. So
Well,
we had a
that's
9.8%
exactly
growth from the
aerodynamic.
80s to the 90s. So I'm not seeing why exactly having 300.
You guys don't believe me? Just look up the non-existent statistics on the fact that the bigger the glass is, the smarter you actually are.
I would be curious what the immigration rates are. Do you want to just keep importing our next generation? Just quick AI overview on Google. The U.S. birth and fertility rates have reached historic lows, with provisional data showing about 3.6 million total births, a general fertility rate of roughly 53 births per 1,000 women, and crude birth rate near 10.7 per 1,000 people.
So
right.
I'm going to let you respond, and then I'm going to pause y'all after. Right? Go ahead and respond, then I'm going to pause y'all, because I have like 2 questions that I want to ask here for it to get clarification on. So go ahead.
Okay. Again, I don't see I don't want to say this in a like callous way, but we can stand to lose some people in the United States. Like it's not gonna.
Whoa! Look at Sarah's face. Can we like? She's like
devastate our society. And when it comes to people who immigrate, they're a benefit to society. Immigration has always been something positive for the country.
If you just replace the entire population with immigrants, well, then now we're not us.
Well, okay, so this is actually the question I want to ask, actually, because this will go to both y'all, because you can take this either way, right? So y'all were talking about like traditional gender roles, right, and like roles in society, and we're talking about like kind of like what is good for society, like what is. We don't even really know what tradition is. Y'all have to define like what is a traditional gender role. Are we talking like what the Aztecs gender roles are? Are we talking like what is Western? Are we talking traditional U.S. gender roles? Or are we talking about an amalgamation of something that we think was there that wasn't ever actually there? And then the other thing I want y'all to answer here real quick for me is what is good? What is the good outcome, right?
What is a breast debater?
Now, let's just make this argument. Immigration is good. It brings in all these things, right? And you made the argument. We want population growth, right? That's good. Why are these things good? I would like y'all to address both those. Either one of y'all go first on that, but both questions if y'all don't mind. You can like define like where traditional gender roles are coming from, and then like what is the good metric?
I already gave the definition earlier. We both agreed on that.
Yeah, you agreed on gender roles. I want traditional gender roles. There's a difference. What is that?
Right. So traditional gender roles would be ideally before feminism came in and changed the idea of the female role.
So like Western gender roles.
Western gender.
What's hoop theory like earrings? Yes.
Gender roles.
Okay. Would you agree with that, Alice? What is your definition of traditional?
I don't own any hoops.
So traditional gender. I just had to make sure I wasn't muted. Actually. So traditional gender roles to me actually, because first wave feminism is the 1920s. What is it? 1926 was when the 19th Amendment was, or 1920? Wait.
Sure. I mean, but I think we can set this at the Western. So it seems like Western. So this comes back to my second question, and I guess we'll start with you, Sarah. Is what is good? Like why is the Western gender role the meta? Why is your idea of population growth the meta? Or it's Alice, same to you. Why is the immigration the meta? Why is it not this other thing? Like what is it? Why? Because y'all aren't really defining why this thing is good. Y'all are saying this is good. Like why is that, Sarah? What are you talking about here?
So
all right, Alice.
What did he say just now, Crucible Crusader? He's talking about like the reason for gender norms. Or are you talking about like a couple seconds ago when he was talking about like when the right to vote came into force?
I think, yeah, so if we're talking about replacing the population or like population replacement, I think that discluding 51% of the population or precluding 51% of the population from work kind of is more devastating to the country than like, not having as many people on Earth,
guys
right?
are hilarious.
Okay. I mean, I'll even just counter that and say women have always worked. Even pre-feminism, women have always been able to work. They've been able to do little side jobs, part-time jobs, teachers, laundry, so on and so forth. So it's not to say that women aren't supposed to or not supposed to work, but our duty, our main goal should be, therefore, to get married and have children. All right. You could still do part-time gigs. Huh?
Why? That's what I want you to answer. Why is that the goal?
Okay, well, number one, the replacement level. Current total fertility estimates sit around 1.6 children per woman, which remains well below the 2.1 needed for population replacement.
I hope that she gets into the other backing arguments around gender roles, because like the birth rate is fine. It's a decent point, but it's not the only point why we should advocate for traditional gender roles in society.
Don't replace your society, it will collapse, right? Either you will just have other immigration.
Yeah, I don't know why he stepped in either, other than I don't know. I also don't know why the positioning of this is like this. Like Gibbs should be at the bottom. He's the moderator. and Sarah should be where Gibbs is, and Alice is fine over there.
And just migrate into your stuff, and all of
I don't know.
your core values are not becoming theirs. Or two, I mean, if somebody wants to take over your country and you don't have the people, the men, the women, and all of those things in their place to support it, well, then you don't have a society. Like what is good is the survival of your society, right? You want it to continue on. But if your replacement rates are dropping and you don't even have the manpower to defend yourself, then what's the point?
All right, perfect. That's really what I wanted to hear. Alice, any response to that? I'll let y'all find again. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Hold a second.
Hey, Homestead, good to see ya.
I dropped my pen. There we go.
Welcome in.
Right, and I'm arguing that there is no need for replacement, and that the argument, or there is no need for replacement when we have 50% of the, or when we have half the society contributing to the workforce. And when you're talking about traditional gender roles, I'm talking like even after the 19th Amendment, they had a complete.
I know, like we've already established that. What about if the birth rate continues as it is?
Different structure.
That's the point.
For economics
Do I really
in the
have to
United
make...
States prior to that.
Oh
So
my
prior to
gosh. I'm
Reaganomics,
advocating for
I think even prior to that, the economic structure was
yeah, Crusader.
Tariffs. So we traditionally, that's why people were able to afford so much, is because women didn't work before.
It is
It's because there were
cold
tariffs
here.
and that we were an exporter country.
Cold
Now we're no
night.
longer an exporter country. It doesn't matter what you do. We're never going to
I don't know
reach
why.
that type of export, the type of exporting that we did before Reaganomics and trickle down economics. We actually fundamentally changed the entire financial structure of the United States when we eliminated tariffs. And I'm not saying the tariffs are a bad thing. I'm not saying the tariffs are a good thing, because they're
Coming back
not.
to the Republican side, Gibbs.
This is very interesting. I just as a meta thing, I think this is finally interesting because I kind of expected you to make more of a progressive. Just from a meta standpoint, I expected you to make a way more progressive arguing like AI, Elon.
This isn't the opportunity to judge, Gibbs. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Boss relationship, property, population value. You haven't done anything, but you've argued very liberal, like neocon kind of point. Welcome to the Republican Party. It's good to have you over here now.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with the Republican Party. It's just
Exactly, I agree.
MAGA,
We're
it's just-
converting them, boys. We're converting them. I do it.
no.
Come
No,
on over.
First of all, I don't like Elon Musk. Second of all, I hate AI. I don't like
Sure.
it. I think.
Can I-
Anyway, sorry. I'm
I
gonna,
didn't mean to sidetrack.
can
Just
I
go back. I know that's
actually-
my fault, but I like someone said
I actually wanted to
Okay.
kind of like sideswipe your whole economic standpoint on that and just maybe put a pin in it for now. But you said that the birth rate doesn't matter because half of the other half of the population, being women, I assume that's what you mean, are working. If we remove them from the workforce, then the birth rate doesn't matter. And I want to say, like, mathematically, that's not mathing in my head. So if it just because we have, let's just
Mathematically, that's not mathing.
say, let's say 100% of people are working and
Oh, my
only
Lord.
50% of women are making babies, and our birth rate is on a decline where we're not even replacing ourselves, then it doesn't matter how many people we have working because we don't have the people underneath that to even fulfill those shoes. Right? Like, we're still going backwards and backwards to where eventually we're just going to keep cutting ourselves in half and in half and in half. And now we're legitimately, there's like no more people to fill those roles.
I wouldn't say in half, but I mean, if we're
Do I do this too? Like, is this just a problem for like all of us in the League of Female Debaters, where we just like take 2 times the amount of time that should be had in order to make a point that could have been made in less?
Our current birth rate is
that an issue
sorry, it is
for all of us?
we're at
Do I do
1.6
that?
children per
I'm, like,
woman, which
genuinely
remains well
curious.
below the 2.1 needed for population. I mean, we're just like cutting
Why?
and cutting and cutting
why
because
why is
more
2.6? Like, what is the significance of that number?
Yes. Says, are we
it's
not
2.1 to needed for
Sorry, 2.1.
to that's
Significant.
that's just replacement level.
You need
That's
2
just-
to replace 1.
2.1. Well, it takes 1 man and 1 woman to make a baby. Do you want me to explain that to you? That's 2
No,
people.
because no, but you understand that, like,
if
a lot of
1 man
time-
and 1 woman have 1 baby, we have not replaced our population of us 2. We have
I let
only
it run
cut,
too
like we
long,
only have 1 of
Crusader.
us now. We need
Right,
another
but-
one just to fill that whole entire piece. And then you got that, that's why it's always like a house,
So
like 2 point something kids and a dog or some shit like that. Like, because there's
I might
usually a
have to turn
third,
off the
right?
AC when
You
I
what is
assume
the-
things.
guys.
Mhm.
I'm, like,
So what is the
legitimately cold.
0.6?
It's 1.6 is where it's 1.6 children per woman. That means more people are probably not having like the typical 3+ children. They're only either having 1, maybe 2.
So the 0.6 is
Okay.
on her chest. Hey yo!
Ew. Ew.
know.
Ew. Did
That's
you
how
I
we
say
get a pearl
that?
necklace. That's how she goes back to the 1950s. She
Okay,
went back
anyway,
to the 1950s.
anyway, no, I understand that, but a lot of times, and I'm not promoting this, but a lot of times you have women with multiple partners who, and if we're living in the
was
current
unnecessary.
rule where you're not allowed to have an abortion, unless you live in certain states, those kids are going to end up.
Mrs. D, from what I understand, she like is in Word War Debate Contender Series. I've seen her be selected as a captain for a 3v3 that I almost did on horseradish. Like, I mean, she has more experience than Sarah.
End up in an adoption facility, and then you think that every single person should have a kid and not adopt. So what happens to those kids that aren't adopted? They're eventually going to be released into the world, right? They count, right?
Sorry, I got
Yeah,
another
that still
cough
doesn't
on stream.
replace the birth rate.
Sure it does. Sure it does.
Yeah.
How does it not replace the birth rate? So
That was better.
You're saying
So-
if one man and one woman have one child, and let's say man and woman get in an unfortunate accident and child goes to adoption, you're saying we've replaced the birth rate just by them two having one child and it goes to adopt? That doesn't make any sense.
Here,
I guess the question I
for you.
keep coming back to because you keep saying this, and like I thought you'd maybe answer, but now it seems like you're going back to the kind of thing.
Nobody
Why
understands
what
per
if
capita.
we had less people
mushroom
and we had more robots, and guess what? Now we
of a certain debater league. It seems
have a higher concentration of wealth in a smaller group of hands. Why wouldn't that be the preferred outcome? Like,
Why wouldn't a higher concentration of
no,
wealth in a smaller group?
I mean,
of
I'm just like my argument, and that's not even the real argument. The reason I'm saying that is because you could define that as the good argument, right? Like, oh, we want less number of people, more money, right? You can also define having millions of people as the preferred outcome. Why is this thing that you're saying? Why do we want the replacement rate? Why is that key?
Yeah, I mean, money is great. I believe in capitalism. I love money. Everybody loves money. I could roll in a bed of money and call it a day. But I could have $1 million sitting here in my room right now. And
yes, I understand per capita. Let me see if I can get this right. Effectively, it's the principle that any kind of statistical data ought be taken into account the actual population size based on the demographics that are being analyzed to the statistic or are applicable to the statistic in order to provide a more accurate reading or average. Did I get that right?
And 20 dudes can come banging down my door and beat the shit out of me, and now that money's done nothing for me, right? So even if you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the manpower to protect your society, your country, your state, your city, your house, whatever, if you don't have the manpower to protect it, well, then that money did you no good.
Gosh,
so here's my example. So you have our good buddy Elon. It might be backwards, and you have woman 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Elon is the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 man, 5 women. Look at all those babies.
Yeah, those women are doing their duty to society by procreating.
Right, but do you understand what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, you have two.
Oops, sorry, Cree Dog. Project Nexus US, welcome in. Project Nexus sounds important. What's going on there? Can you share the confidential information with us? Just kidding. I watched this live. She wasn't able to understand the concept of a 2.1 birth rate being insufficient for replacing humans for over half an hour. Yeah. You need at least 2.1.
Two babies per woman, I think.
No.
1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, well, those last 3 women, they suck. They haven't actually helped the birth rate because that is still Elon and 1 woman only having 1 baby. They've only procreated 1 per them.
You understand? No. That's not 1 replacement. Elon was already replaced. Whoops, hold on. Elon was already replaced with this first baby. Done.
I think they're both confused now. Sarah is now talking about the exact replacement rate based on whatever. It remains unclear to me. And Owlish is saying because Elon, the exception, has produced babies with multiple women, that he's somehow corrected the lack of birth rate in other couples. This is baffling.
Right? So all the other babies are now extracurricular activities.
Oh,
Okay, how often does this happen?
that's ominous. Project Nexus. I don't think you'd be
A
interested.
lot? What do you mean? A man having
like a man like Elon to have 8 babies?
It was because I was like, my dad is my primary influence as a parent, and I have 1 sibling, and it is a brother. So
This you're saying this is standard. This is average.
Yes, because traditional gender roles also say that
to be one.
man
Thanks.
traditional
Was
gender roles
it? I'm not going to say his name. He said that I was born in the wrong
say
body.
that a man
So weird.
Man.
that a man can have sex with
Okay, the average number of children a man has varies by country and age group, but studies generally estimate lifetime average about 1.5 to 2.2 children per man. Yeah, Elon and Nick Cannon are definitely the exceptions to the rule. There ain't no way. If we had a bunch of dudes out there running around making 8 babies like that, I think that would be, I wouldn't even have a complaint. The women would be doing their duty to society, and that man is paying to take care of them.
Right.
It also wouldn't technically be good metrics. We need, from what I understand on the birth rate issue, we need more couples of like the same genetic pattern to have equal amounts of babies. If we have a Genghis Khan type scenario where like everybody has the same or similar genotypes where half siblings are created, it creates a genetic issue because there can be overlapping and slight inbreeding in future populations. So Genghis Khan is not the solution to the birth rate problem.
Right. So that is the case, though. What
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I know there's nothing wrong with
least
it, but
not
like,
drama stream
again,
for
you're
me,
arguing
okay?
that like women need to produce babies. Like there has to be 1 for 1 or 2 for 2. It doesn't seem like that's
It's
the
literally
case.
the birth rate, the replacement rate. I've read it to you.
Fair.
It's
Yeah,
fertility
I
estimates.
understand.
Fair.
Here's
We
my
sit around
argument.
1.6 children per woman. This is the actual number right now, which remains well below the 2.1 needed for
Yeah,
population.
Crusader.
We're not there. We're still on a decline. We're going very fast. And I think I just saw a thing the other day saying women between ages 30 and 34, I think it's like I think it was 40%. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but have not had a child yet.
Yeah.
Have not had a child yet. How much longer are we waiting? So if she waits any longer, right, and maybe like her risks go up and down and teeter-totter, but then let's say she just
True.
has one child, then now there's a whole generational gap in the middle of that. I know my mom was in her early 20s. She had 3 kids. I was in my early 20s. I had 2 kids, right? If the next generation, like if the next generation skips this entire line, she goes, and then she's 40 years old, popping out her first kid, you have an entire potentially one and a half generations in between that you've missed out on.
True.
So, right, but as of right now, there are 330,000 children in the U.S. foster care system, right?
Mm.
So
Oh, I hate this statistic. But what about if they end up in foster care? It's like, okay, well, that's the exception. Welcome in, Grandpa Stillskin, Ghetto Stills Ghetto Raid, TM. Right now, are you raiding us? Thank you, Grandpa. Thank you very much for the raid. Good to see you
that's
as
what,
well.
like 250,000, roughly.
It's just
No.
over 250,000.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
You
over
said 330,000, correct?
Yeah. So 330,000.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess that these 330,000 kids are not actually factored into the how many kids are produced, because there is no real like comparison between the two. And again,
Yes, there is. A mom and a dad
how?
made them, whether they're in foster care, adopted,
Well,
passed away. Like
what do
that
you mean?
number still is the number.
but where are they getting the number from
Mm-mm-mm.
initially? Because that's the reason I have
Birth
this
rates.
problem. Yeah,
It's
that's
a
the
birth
problem I
rate.
have.
Bad argument. Bad, Sarah. Bad. No, I mean, that's not a bad point, but the problem with that is that she's just going to say, okay, there's no method to the madness. So what about if we put all women in like breeding cages or like a Handmaid's Tale scenario where we just force them to reproduce? Is that going to create better humans? And the answer is obviously probably not.
Right. That's the problem I have with a lot of these statistics, though, is that like you have women who anonymously
Awesome, Grumple. I
give
hope you
birth and
reach
then
it. Subscribe to
send their
Grumple,
kid to foster
guys.
care, right?
That's
Like
his
They still
handle.
not
give birth.
anonymously, but
They still reproduced and contributed their duty to society, or did perform their duty to society by reproducing.
and I just have a problem with where these numbers are coming from. And again, any replacement,
She has a problem with where passed away kids count. Is that what she said, Buddha?
which we don't necessarily need. I don't think we need replacement at this point. And if we do need replacement, then
do.
we have people that can immigrate into the country. And I simply don't see a problem with immigration.
Let me try something here, because I think we're circling a little bit here. Let me try one more time here, real quick. I want to see if we get this question answered one more time.
Has anybody seen Nate Friedman's recent videos where he's just like walking through public spaces like grocery stores in Dearborn, Michigan?
If not, we're gonna move to a different part of this debate.
Yeah.
All right. What I want y'all to do is define
eerie.
why y'all's preferred value system, i.e., like Sarah, you keep saying gender roles, and or Alice, God damn it, I just blanked. I had it in my head, now I just lost.
cool,
Whatever you just said,
Giblin,
like,
Giblin.
why are those outcomes the preferred outcome? I have a really bad day, folks. I'm so sorry. What makes those outcomes, like, why are those the good ones, right? Because y'all both keep saying, oh, birth rate, and then it's like, oh, it is, and then the other thing, God, bro, I'm just done. Hey, but you get what I'm trying to get. I want to know why your preferred value systems are thing.
Yep.
Tell me, please. All right, and then if that doesn't work, we're gonna move to another part of this debate. 'Cause I have another.
Okay. So the reason why my preferred structure of having both the man, the woman work, non-traditional marriages, such as between 2 men, 2 women, or mixed families, or adoption, or no kids for a family, is because overall it contributes to society more fulfilling than just the woman needs to stay home. It eliminates 50%, almost 51% of the working class. It eliminates a lot of a woman's empowerment when it comes to the things that they earned over the last,
Thanks, Crumble.
126 years? Roughly? Yeah, something like that. I don't know, 146 years. But those things necessarily make the population a better place. Like, there have been no drawbacks to having women join the workforce, as far as I've seen. The only drawback we've seen is that men have thrown a temper tantrum every single time that they've made progress and they want to take it back. Okay, go
Huh? Huh? What?
ahead.
Okay. So you mentioned, and
Press
I
X
should
to
be able
doubt.
to answer your question, Gibbs, within this, but you said that women staying at home. Hold on. You said, now what? Hold on. I just lost my whole thought bubble.
It's all around.
And that's what she said. It was children. Oh my God, I lost my. Can you say a little bit of what you said again? Sorry, I had it and then it went out. You said, empowerment. You said empowerment. You said we've not lost anything from women working, and then you mentioned something else that clicked.
All I said was that men, the only thing we've had to deal with really is that men have thrown temper tantrums and, all that thing with the
Why does she have her hand up?
glass
What is
ceiling.
up with that? What is
Equal
going
pay
on?
and all that. And then there was it the non-traditional family thing?
No, that didn't strike a bell.
Okay.
Well, number one, you said empowerment. Okay. I don't feel like I need to go identify as a nurse, a teacher, a librarian, a clerk, or any of the such in order to obtain empowerment. I can obtain empowerment just by me being a woman, because me being a woman is fucking awesome, right? Me being able to have babies, me being able to be a woman as myself. And guess what? It's actually okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to let a man do it for me. It's okay because that actually empowers me more, because I don't have to touch shit. I don't have to pick shit up. I don't have to do all that. I don't have to.
It's so hard to unhear what I heard earlier about Las Vegas and a certain establishment.
Get my hands dirty. I don't have to work. I don't have to do any of these things. Isn't that more
When she says it,
empowerment
I'm
to you
just
in that
like,
aspect? And guess what? Women
oh
have
my
always
gosh.
technically worked. They have not been eliminated from the
I'm trying to take her seriously, guys, but-
workforce. They've always been allowed to work. It's just a matter of which fields or what they're doing in which they can kind of see ground on or get foundations in, right? But they've still done this. I mean, you have Mary Curie, like you have all of these people that have still been in these industries. It just might have been a little bit harder, but wouldn't she have been empowered that she could go be the only female doing that thing? Because that's what she decided. Great. Okay. But even at that, nobody was restricted from doing that. You've always been able to do that. Women have always worked part-time jobs. Like the empowerment piece is the ability to be at
Are we
home
not
and be a
men in
mother, because that
Skyrim?
is our duty to society.
guys
We
are
are the
funny.
only thing that can procreate on Earth. Men can't do what we can. And that's a pretty freaking
Wait, just a second. Did she just say we are the only thing that can procreate on Earth? Did she just say that? Did
awesome
she?
thing. I might be able to pick up the weight. Gibbs might be able to pick up the weight. That's awesome. We both might be strong enough,
That's
but he
wrong.
sure as fuck can't push a baby out. He surely can't reproduce and give birth, have labors, all those things. He can't get pregnant, right? I can. I'm already on top of the game.
I know what she meant, Nexus, but like,
All right.
the
And
wording
then
was terrible.
you mentioned I wrote it down and now I don't know what I wrote.
Oh my gosh! Again, Sarah, come on, keep it
I
together,
can't
lady.
even read
Come
that.
on.
My
You know,
pen
there
or
is an
my
app that takes the
Tough.
notes for you now, and it gives
I
you
like
bullet
using
points.
pencils.
Just throwing that out there, boys and girls. It's amazing.
I like using pencils.
I don't use it because I
but-
don't take notes, but that's beside the
Oh,
point.
and again, like for women's duty, back to kind of Gibbs's question,
Rewind it.
like it is beneficial to society if we continue.
Are we gonna make people like listen to this again? Okay.
It is beneficial to society. It is beneficial and give birth, have labors, all those things. He can't. Awesome thing. I might be able to pick up the weight. Gibbs might be able to pick up. This might have been a little bit harder, but wouldn't she have been empowered that she could go be the only female doing that thing? Because that's what she decided. Great. Okay. But even at that, nobody was restricted from doing that. You've always been able to do that. Women have always worked part-time jobs. Like the empowerment piece is the ability to be at home and be a mother, because that is our duty to society. We are the only thing that can procreate on Earth. Men can't do what we can.
Yeah. She said it. She said it. Dang.
And that's a pretty freaking awesome thing. I might be able to pick up the weight. Gibbs might be able to pick up the weight. That's awesome. We both might be strong enough, but he sure as fuck can't push a baby out. He surely can't reproduce and
I can't produce an
give birth, have labors, all those things. He can't get pregnant, right? I can. I'm already on top of the game. All right. Yes. And then you mentioned I wrote it down and now I don't know what I wrote.
Who's reproducing the cats?
I can't even read that.
There's an app that takes the notes for you now, and
I like using pencils.
Just throwing that out there, boys and girls. It's amazing.
I
don't use it because I don't take notes, but that's beside the point.
And again, like for women's duty, back to kind of Gibbs's question, it is beneficial to society if we continue fulfilling society. Here in this instance, you would be relying on immigrants to come in, which means they need to reproduce too. You are still relying on other women to make your babies for you instead of just making your own here at home. And again, if you don't have those babies cannot turn up and support your system above you. You're going to continue losing the birth rate. You're going to continue women at this rate it's increasing to a very scary level. Well, women are just not having babies. If we push out the propaganda, if we make it happen, women should be doing this. It is the one thing we can do, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I can grant you that. I can grant you that having children is definitely awesome. But I don't necessarily see why if a woman had children that precludes her from going back to work.
I didn't say she couldn't.
Right, but your entire argument is to be a stay-at-home mom, right?
But the idea is that she should be capable of being a mother and making that her priority instead. That should be her priority, is being a mother.
This is one of the dumbest arguments I constantly hear about feminism and gender roles. It's like, oh no, once she's in the home, she has to stay in the home. She can't once the kids are grown, she can't leave the house.
Again, I gave you the numbers earlier. The average single woman makes $50,000 a year. When you tax that, you take, let's see, I think I wrote this down earlier. You tax that 25%, let's just assume 25% worth of taxes. That's $12,500 gone. Then you have $37,500 $37,500 from there. Then let's pretend she gets married and has a baby, right? And she still wants to work. Well, your highest in childcare is $15,000 a year. Take that away from your $50,000. Then you're down to $22,500. Then if we have a second vehicle, the average vehicle costs $12,000 a year. That's between maintenance, gas, all of your car payments, so on and so forth, insurance. All right. So now we're at $22,500. Subtract that $12,000. Now we're down to $10,500 a year that she's now making. Then let's pretend our kid is in our kid's doing summer camp that year. That's another $12,000. Or if I have 3 kids and they're all doing summer camp that year, $12,000 just for 3 months worth of summer camp gone. So far we're in the negative. Now I don't work to make a paycheck. I work as an expensive hobby that I pay to go work. I would be paying to work. Does that make sense? All of the aftercares, the daycares, all of the different things that the things that you have to supplement in order to fulfill your role as a mother. You going and working at.
Hey, look who's here! It's Ross Kahn. Hey, good to see you, Ross. Ross says the stay-at-home woman to stay home with children needs a man to support the woman and baby at home. What kind of empowerment is that? When you have to depend on the man to support you to stay home. I don't really think that's okay. So the way that she framed it, I agree, is not great because it makes it sound like that's somehow giving her more options. I don't necessarily think that's giving her more options. I do think it might be best argued from the standpoint that, okay, it's giving her a more fulfilling life because she's having kids, she's fulfilling her biological duty. She has a sense of family now. It's not just, she lives alone with or she has a boyfriend, but no actual kind of family ties. I would have made that argument, but it is what it is. Yeah, $2,000 a month for childcare is high, Ross. But yeah, good to see you. I agree. It's kind of a shitty way that she made the standpoint. Holy Botox Batman says generally specific. Yeah, I know she denies the rumors, but that does look like a brow lift to me, and I would know. I've talked about this a couple times. And fellow channel members, good evening, ABG, and hey to the regular brokies like me that were gifted a membership. Thanks again. That was World Radio. If you see him again. What is she shrilling about tonight? She is debating. That's right. She is no longer moderating. She is debating gender roles in society on the affirmative. So, you heard it here first, sir. It's been a bit of a shite show so far. Aaron Queen says most of the country aren't even native born anymore. We're screwed. YT men need to stand up again. Are you a? Who would have guessed, Aaron, based on your PFP?
In that average 50,000
immigration replacing population rate is a problem generally in the West.
$1,000 a year job.
And I say problem because there's little assimilation anymore, like there was back in the forefront of immigration being a thing.
The number that popped up, $50,000 a year,
anyway.
gone by the time you're done, and then
Hey,
you
Cola,
you only get 1 to 2 hours a day with your child. That's it. That's it. When they go 1 to 2, because in the morning you get up and then you put them on the bus, and then afterwards they get home and they have, this is like what they consider quality time with your child. 1 to 2 hours worth of quality time with your child, where you're not running, doing other things. And let me add,
Project Nexus, with his top secret project that he can't tell any of us about, says that isn't true though. 85% of the population is still native born. Interesting. Where's that stat from? Can you let us know?
sports, and you want to know what sports cost? I got a varsity teenager who kicks ass and does all the private club sports and all those things.
Anecdotal.
It would, if like all of the driving and all of the stuff you have to do for that, it'd be terrible just to add that in.
So how much is the dad making?
I did an average of $70,000. The average married man makes $70,000.
Okay, so let's
happy to provide
subtract the 27,000 from his.
Happy to do it.
You wouldn't be subtracting all of those because mom would be at home taking care of that.
Right, but we can subtract it from her. But this is the thing with the 2-income household. If you have a 2-income household, then you can balance that money much easier than, because
what are you balancing if she went into the negative just trying to go to work?
Well, I mean, like, she wouldn't be using just her money, right? If you had a dual income household. So what is his doing?
If her paycheck is gone by the time it gets to her, then you do understand math, right?
Right. So okay, let's put
it this way:
2,500 from the 70,000 that is from the man's side, right? Because that's still money in the bank.
$2,500 for what?
Negative $2,500 is the negative.
Negative. What?
You said when we started doing the math for the summer camp, $12,000 minus.
Yeah, you wouldn't be. She would end up negative $1,500. Negative $1,500 is where she.
And this is what happens during a debate when you get caught up on dumb things like the math of a particular situation that is like completely either made up or anecdotal. Like
she lands, and then
just don't.
So now all you're left with is dad's pay. Now you could very well say, okay, we went in. We had to take $1,500 from dad's salary, and actually the average egalitarian couple both make $60,000. That's Sam's example. They both only make $60,000 each, right? So now she's going to work. She's doing all these things. Okay, she might make an extra $10,000. She makes an extra $10,000, and then she still only gets 1 to 2 hours of time with her child. Let alone, I said also earlier on, the Pew research shows that most women are still doing all of the household chores, the bulk of it, and taking care of the kids and all of those traditional roles that they would be doing. And the men are still doing less, right? So you're still taking on the traditional role at home, and you're working a full-time job on top of that my average was showing less than negative $1,500. You're paying for.
Good stuff, Ross. I don't disagree. I think there's two components that people don't take into account when they make points on the cost of living. One, a $50,000 income is actually sufficient in certain areas in the United States and even Canada to like actually support a 4-person family on. And number two, not everybody makes the same amount. Now, is it more of an accurate figure to say most people make within the range of 50 to 60K as opposed to 6 figures? Sure.
For a hobby. That when you can just make your hobby being home.
No.
I could buy a freaking bead collection and have more fun, and it would still be cheaper.
A bead collection? What?
Yeah, but I think you're really kind of living in this reality where the father isn't contributing whatsoever, and if that's the case, then you need to get a new husband. Like, I'm so sorry. But if your
that was the Pew research that was showing that mothers who are working.
Wait a second. Pew research? Is that a religious site?
No, Pew Research is a statistical database. It's like the NIH.
It's a survey. It's a survey site.
I don't think it's a site.
It's a research institute. They have studies.
I mean, it might be Christian Founder or something, but I'm pretty sure it's a research.
Yeah, no. When I searched up how reputable it was apparently like very well.
I thought Pew research, like Pew, like
yeah, I got where you were going.
Pew.
Yeah, don't worry, I was with you. I understood.
Like a church pew? Did she really?
Church pew?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But anyway, sorry, that was a sidetrack with once again these crazy things with the where are we at here? Sorry, go ahead.
But
Sarah.
yeah, but in that research, it shows that women who are married and have children and work, and they have what's considered an egalitarian relationship where it's supposed to be balanced, it's still not balanced. And you can say, oh, well, you have a shitty husband all you want. But the fact is if you're making, I'll even grant $5,000 to $10,000 extra dollars a year at most, right? After you net everything that you're spending just to be able to go to work, you're still not winning. You're losing, and you're still doing all the things that you would have done during the day at your leisure with your children, or whether you send them to school or whether you keep them home is up to you.
Yeah,
but you're still able to get all of that shit done during the day as your job. And yeah, you might not make that extra $5,000 or $10,000 a year as a combined household income, but you're also not spending a shit ton of money to put your kids in daycares and take care of all the aftercares and all of these other things that you as a mother can't do because you're too busy working this expensive hobby.
Yeah.
First, thank you so much, Frosty, for whatever the fuck that is. Rupees? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. Rupees. Wow.
He's Indian.
DGG must be here. No, I'm just kidding.
Funny.
Just kidding. I love DGG. So no, what I was thinking is that like it doesn't make any sense. It's 2,500, by the way, not 1,500.
No, maybe I missed something.
I fooled him this long, Mrs. D. Now he's like, how much estrogen is involved in watching this?
I guess what I'm asking though, so, one of the things that keeps coming up in the chat, and I would like to maybe address, I think, because it is an interesting point, is what happens whenever technology progresses to the point where men can have children? Like, what if I want to have like a womb, or what if I don't need to have a womb? I kind of brought this up to you the other day. Like, what happens then when we have like the Clone Wars facility basically built?
Do you want men having babies?
I don't know, generally specific.
No, I want test tube genetic super
drainage,
soldier babies.
perhaps?
That's what I want.
Okay, well, who's going to take care of them?
Speculate.
The robots.
Do you want your next generation raised by robots?
Sure, why not? Why is that a bad thing?
I'm sorry, why is this question?
Every single AI movie that has ever been made about that scenario.
Well, because it's still not happening yet. I want you because I want to be explained why because your whole crux of your argument, Sarah, and this I think is important to me, so I can understand it, is comes down to the childbirth, and like that's the key thing that separates women from men. Right? Am I asking? Okay.
It's a monolith.
I'm just making sure I'm steel manning.
Yeah,
I'm just making sure I'm steel manning so I can understand. All right. This is what I want you to like, and I keep asking for why this value system is better. So you're saying, okay, you don't want your kids raised by robots. Okay, why is that bad? Like, I would argue robots are analytical. They're not going to have any kind of inherent bias or racism. They're going to be efficient, so they're going to teach ultimate capitalism. They're going to not deal with fucking bullshit, so we're not going to have participation trophy. Like this, these are all great qualities that a robot would impart on the children. Why would that not be a preferred outcome? And now I know this is a stupid scenario, but I'm doing this because I want you to illustrate to me why your worldview is the preferred one. What is the because you keep saying it is, and I need to know why.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I'm not even gonna. If we have robots taking care of kids and raising babies, then fine, let's just send women to the workforce. Although I think it would be more preferred if we do it the opposite way: send the mothers home, send the robots to the workforce, and then then.
No, bad point. She should have done research on AI and the current capacity of its abilities, and then she should have also kind of incorporated the humanitarian element. Natures versus nurture studies, perhaps some kind of psych statistic would have been useful. I almost prepped for this debate in a different sense, different channel, different format, but I did research on that for my.
Then everybody's satisfied. You still have your workers, you have jobs getting done, and the mom can be at home. But even at that, if women are the only ones who can give birth, and obviously in the opposite of that, we need somebody to protect them, right? Which would be the man. Which means naturally, and we already went over the masculine and feminine concept that the gender roles are based on masculine and feminine based on how society deems and so on and so forth. Well, I obviously am not going to send an army full of just women to go fight a battle. Correct?
No, but this comes back to the thing I asked y'all at the very beginning, which comes back to, and like I know that it sounds like I'm being harsh, but it really I need y'all to both like kind of like engage this a little bit with me. The traditional, this is why I asked about the traditional thing. Would you argue that the traditional roles of women during the Neanderthal period is going to be the same as during the Bronze Age or the Iron Age or now? No, those are all shifted. So if we have a point now where technology eliminates the need for women to be the specific child rearers or child bearers, why is your thing the preferred outcome when tech can get rid of it?
Then fine.
It's a moderated debate. It's not a free for all generally, but he seems to be giving them a huge handout, and I'm not sure.
I already answered that. I said fine. If there's robots that can do that, then do it. We're not there right now. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to have an argument for something that. But that's not the point. I'm not talking about the hypothetical. You're talking about child rearing, right? Well, yeah, okay. Let's go there then. Where do the eggs come from?
No, I'm not talking about child rearing. I'm saying you're.
Wait, I just realized, ironically, since Sarah's been known to like step in debates as from the moderator role to actually debate them, including debates I've done on her channel, is he giving her a taste of real medicine?
You're advocating that
Is that what's
the
going
child
on?
rearing thing is the separation, correct? From the men. Yes?
Being able to have babies makes you different from a man.
Yes. Right? My argument is that technology, throughout thousands of years, right? And this is the kind of the thing I'm asking you to engage in, right? Has changed. The gender roles for thousands of years. You know, used to women stayed in the caves and the men hunted. Or, you know.
There's 52 of you in here. Please like and subscribe if I'm not so bad at entertaining people at this wee hour in the morning. And if you have a couple of dollars to spare, it would be most appreciated, but not required. Your likes and subscribes will be sufficient. Thank you for joining me.
You know, and then whatever happened in the fucking Middle Ages, I don't know. I'm not going to go through a whole dissertation. But my point is, these gender roles have evolved. So, because as technology has advanced, it's eliminated other roles, right? We don't have oilers anymore. We don't have whalers anymore. We have oil, right? So, my question is, if technology is always evolving and roles are changing and being eliminated, you're advocating for something, and I know it sounds like tradition. However, you're advocating that because this thing
Okay, he's making odd versus Z's claim. Let's
exists,
see how they
it's
respond.
good. You're not telling me why this thing good. Right? Like you're
because this thing is, I was, but you went off in a tangent of, I said if I had a army full of women to go to battle, like you wouldn't want that. That's not the good thing, right?
Sure.
Yes or no? Okay,
sure.
Right. But if I had an army full of
I did this for my country. She's not great at debating. I don't think that she can dog walk anybody. Hey, Muckster, welcome in. Just a reminder, guys, you might have something against other people in chat, but don't bring it into my comment section. Otherwise, carry on.
full of men, you'd probably feel a little more secure knowing that they're going to do their job, correct?
Yeah, and if I had an army full of Terminators, even better.
I have women who have the absolute monolith right now in today's society. They are the only ones that.
Yes, Rumpelstiltskin. Now it is a 2v1 with Gibbs playing devil's advocate against Sarah, and Alish is on the negative still.
Can reproduce, correct?
Okay.
Men, then in the opposite of that, are the ones who are led with the charge of protection, providing so on and so forth. We've already put men in that place. They've been in that place. They haven't been removed from that, correct?
Sure.
Right?
Okay,
like I think it's like 80% of our military, even law enforcement, all of these other numbers are going in such a way where men are overall the protectors of society on a local scale, even on a global scale, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay. However, women are not performing their duty to society right now. And what we're seeing is this stark delay in having children, number one, but then we're also seeing abortions on the rise. We're seeing also women choosing not to have kids at all. And we're also seeing our birth rate drop in like a historical low, like to the point where we're not even close to our replacement rate. All right. We currently do not have little AI robot soldiers. We currently do not have a replacement option, right? If we migrated people in, we are still not migrating people that are doing what our society does as a whole, correct?
What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if you need to, let's say we wanted to migrate a bunch of.
I just don't know now. Like somebody said this in chat. I think it was GS, and I can't unsee it. She's like scratching her like neck and like her shoulders and stuff. Like she's got the nervous itch or something.
The women, children, and men from Mexico.
Oh, cool.
They're actually going to be having their own little population world, and they're not going to be doing what you want them to do. So you would actually be going against the grain, and those people are going to come fill in those spots, and we're going to be back to traditional roles way faster than you think we're going to be moving forward in progressive stances of women should work more.
So like how does this kind of square with the idea that we already have these existing like sub
So she's not going to answer
cultures such as
obfuscation.
Like Chinatown, or you have like very I was supposed to say saturated, not saturated, very concentrated areas of like where one particular culture lives. This is already something that happens. And plus there's something that shows that when you have people who immigrate into the country, as the generation line gets longer within the country, the people tend to move away, go to college,
Michael?
and adopt the traditional American lifestyle. Like you won't see.
Okay, what studies, Alish? Thank you so much. Ross with the Big 10 says, I can't relate to these numbers. I'm reflecting on child rearing and the happy, rich, successful daughters I raised. Congratulations, Ross. It doesn't add up to me. Have a nice evening. AVG and chat, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your patronage.
See, you won't usually see, that's why you have this thing of like kids translating for their parents, because they go to American schools and they learn English, and then they become a translator for their parents because they're actually like, what is it called?
Other than specific situations where like immigration is necessary prior to you being able to be a successfully assimilated citizen, that should not be a reality. We shouldn't just say like, it's okay, just come into a country and learn the language later. I don't think that's an effective way to conduct business or a country.
Becoming a part of society more thoroughly than their parents. So this is kind of something that we already see, and they don't like cordon themselves off and put a hard line.
Oh, cool.
We usually don't see that
Amazing.
unless there's something you can bring up.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you said that they're replacing, right?
If you needed to replace your concept was that you could migrate people in and replace
exactly.
society. But if you're going to replace them with people from down in Mexico, you're probably going to get actually the roles that I am pushing for, and they're actually going to work against you. They'll end up voting Republican.
Quick housekeeping note: if you're going to insult people unprovoked in the chat, I'm going to remove your comment. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to time you out. And if you keep doing it, even after I've removed your comment and timed you out, you might just get zibut. You might just get zibut forever.
Republican, and they'll end up taking them and their children, but to traditional values. Like that's actually what you're going to end up getting.
Not necessarily, because a lot of people have extended families, right? So a lot of times you'll have, especially people with different cultures, they actually believe families should live together in the same home. For a long time, you'll have a grandmother, a mother, a father, maybe a grandfather, and their kids. So the mother can still work because the grandparents live in the house with them. So that's not something that's a non-traditional family that
is still a mother doing her job, though.
Maybe
and I mean, I'm referring to the grandmother. The grandmother is still doing her job as a mother, and that's actually a support system we got away from many moons ago. And we got away from the traditional standards of family life. External families moved away. Everybody separated and went in their different directions. Where everybody used to live either in the same house, on the same block, or at least within the same 10-minute drive. We actually moved away from that because why? Because we must go and go off. All the kids go off to college.
Thanks,
and they move to the big city because they want to chase this dream, that dream, that dream, that dream, this dream, and instead of maintaining the core value.
Just a second. And thank you, Twiggy, for your subscription. We've got a hater. I didn't know you were talking to me. My bad. I gotta pause and address this. When people want attention, you give it to them, right, guys?
Of their tribe.
People,
their tribe is their family, and they get away from that and try to push that instead.
Right, but what I'm saying is that people who immigrate will have that mindset, so which is why the people who are already here, who are natural born citizens, who have that mindset of let me move away to the big city. I'm single. I don't need no man. I can make my self-worth. Why not give them that free, or why not grant them that?
What?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, there isn't. Grumblestiltskin. Free speech just means you won't get arrested for the speech. It doesn't mean you get to yell inside someone else's house. ABG is in Kanakistan. There's no free speech there anyway. There is. Look, it's not that bad, but yeah, like there's like Bill C-8 and all kinds of like religious speech laws here. But the fact is we're on YouTube and the jurisdiction is the internet, and the lawmakers here are me and my mods. And if you're going to be a dick, I reserve the right to give you the boot.
I mean, what? Why not grant them the non-traditional gender role? The people, the natural-born citizen. Why not grant them the non-traditional gender role and not follow the non-traditional gender role because people can immigrate and maintain what you're talking about?
Because everybody that I'm going to immigrate is going to be people that run by traditional gender roles, and then you're going to be outnumbered, and then you're just kind of gone, and all of your ideologies are gone too.
No, not 100%. Well, I'm sorry. And like I said, and that kind of plays into what I already said about how like there's no such thing as outnumbering, right?
If you are...
That's the irony of people that think in a way where we don't need to reproduce and we need to have, all of these, if we have these freedoms to do whatever the fuck we want and we don't reproduce, there's no concern there. Well, duh, if you want to preserve your ideology, you need to make more people that have that ideology. It's not rocket science, okay?
Aren't reproducing, and I import a bunch of people from a country who do what I'm promoting, but they're going to do based off of their family traditions and what they believe in. I'm importing that. I'm importing that right in. You're not reproducing, therefore your ideologies die.
No, it doesn't. What is an American to you?
Oh my God.
There you go, Sarah.
What is an American?
Good job.
Like, what is someone who is an American? Like, what do you think an American is?
They still
Oh, this is an opportunity for the best joke. Will she make it, guys? Will she make it?
bring their traditional values. Have you hung
Yes.
out with Mexican
And
people
did you
and their
not say?
families?
Did you not say that we used to have those
Almost
values?
there.
You what?
Put a 1 in the chat if you know where I was going with this. Who is an American?
Almost there.
What'd you
That's what I want you to explain. Right there. Okay. You said the
You
Mexicans,
guys know
right? They have
the
similar values.
joke. Come on.
Yeah.
So
Why is it the same?
didn't they-
Joke.
Because
Didn't
they're still reproducing. We have gone away from it. They are keeping it.
Do you think that like female
Oh,
like
Jovi.
Hispanic women don't have jobs or something, and they just produce and just stay at home, or does their life?
They carry those traditional values, and it's been passed down and passed down and passed down. This is what helps their society continue to become what it is, and so and grow and do. Like we're gonna have to import that because we no longer have it.
I mean, in some sense, we do have that. Look at the Christian population. Is it the
Look
Christian
at the numbers. We are below replacement. We don't have that.
I understand, and then my argument is that we don't necessarily need to worry about replacement when we have the ability to get people into the country to not import people. I'm sorry, that just seems for people to immigrate, right?
Okay, if we just play the shuffle, we play the people shuffle and just start moving them country to country, we're still not recreating.
Yeah, we are.
What are you doing?
Okay, so the world. So
you're just moving the people that procreate, and now, welcome to Mexico, Alish.
What's the Okay, again, and I'm going to explain this to you again because I already explained this once, but I'll explain it again because I think I explained it at the wrong point of the conversation. Is that when you have a population, when you have first generation, it's understandable that they're not going to become part of American society, right? They're not going to take on all of the traditional Americanisms, but as they have children and as their children attend school, as they attend American school, as they get American friends, as they start, becoming a part of society, they pick up those. And after those generations, if they have kids, maybe they meet somebody who is an American or whatever, they start to become American. Like this idea that they cordon themselves off doesn't exist.
Alish, if we end up replacing all of Americans with all of Mexicans,
what is an American? What is an American?
You realize, what is an American? Structure and their values are now they will take the lead.
No, please.
You do understand how that works, right?
But what is an American?
Thank you. This is the question I was asking earlier.
Proud to be an American.
Yeah. So what is an American?
In terms of a legal American?
No, in terms of what you're talking about. Who is that American? Because if they...
So just a second, guys. I did a debate on eugenics. I know this is from Wikipedia, but it does cite actual statistics here. Let me go to it. So this is the human population projections. There's a couple statistics here. This one is from oneworlddata.org. It shows basically like a plateau. And then most of the population is fueled effectively from certain countries. So, for instance, as the Pew Research observes that 50% of births in the year 2100 will be from Africa. 50% of world births are from Africa. So what that tells me is that either our populations in the North American hemisphere, the region of North America, right, are going to be either based on immigration from Africa and other countries, or we're going to fizzle out. Now that means unless we have some kind of advancements in AI that allow us to supplement that population mortality, we're effectively going to be at a loss for things like food production, infrastructure roles in construction, and other kind of like city building, roles in healthcare and education, all that. This seems to predict that it's going to still grow the world population, but it doesn't seem to state that it's from like a even breakdown of regions. It's, again, this is all third world countries. So in short, it won't be great. It won't be great at all. But your question, GS, was just a second. Well, you'd think generally specific, but technically you need people to produce the actual food. So even though there's a lesser need for food, you still need that infrastructure there in order to produce the food itself. Whether or not that could be put to robots, it already is automated to some extent, but could it be in terms of replacement for humans, I don't think so. Not at this stage.
If they get,
It's also expensive to run these machines,
if
right?
they get a green card, if
You
they
can
get,
you can
citizenship, they're American.
anybody can
That's it.
be
Hey, Melissa,
anybody can be a
welcome
legal
into the
American,
show. Good
right?
to see
But
you.
it's if you're talking about what are
Hope
American
you're doing well.
values, what are our traditional
No, who is the
what are-
American you're talking about?
Sorry for the derail, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
what
talking
kind
about
of
living-
American are you?
I had statistics on that.
we're in America right now, and what we have going on, where
Let me
we
say
stand in
this.
terms of our society and our culture. This is where we are right now. We're in feminism. We're in this. We're in all this crazy shit. Okay,
You don't want that,
but
right?
we are. Hold on a second. But we are not replacing our this in America. We're not passing on our traditions because we're not making babies to pass those traditions down. Guess what? All right,
We
let's
don't have
import a bunch of people into America because we need people to pick up on jobs and to do this and to do that. Okay, well now you're just bringing all of their traditions up here. So then I'm still going to win at this rate because they're going to bring all of those old school
It
traditions.
sounds
Wait a second. I did this for my country. The population always continues to grow. That's why they bring out diseases to take out the population. Oh no, not more zombie apocalypse. Oh my gosh, now you're going to lead me down a conspiracy trail of like where C-19 was allegedly infiltrated from. Didn't Gates, I know people are going to say, oh my gosh, not Bill Gates. Didn't Gates do a documentary or a study based on pandemics, and he said that it was also due to the melting of certain like fossils and whatnot that might have bioweapons unnecessarily or unintentionally in them.
like
And
you
that's going to
want
carry over.
it,
Go ahead,
right?
Allison. I'm
I don't know.
gonna
I've
check
heard a
this.
lot on this.
Huh?
Yeah, say that again, Allison.
Catholicism at its finest is going to take
Well-
over America if we import.
No.
That's
so,
the point I want to
what?
expound it on. Go ahead, Allison. I'm gonna go after you. Go ahead.
So like, what is the problem?
Well, now you're making an argument from either socialism versus capitalism, aren't you, GS, effectively? Yeah, automation, says Grandpa, with the most farming just means that the human farmers can handle more land with the same staff. But like farmers and farmhands are aging hard. The farmer kids are not staying a lot. Yeah, I actually grew up on a farm from like, what was it, 3 to 18. I lived on a farm.
Problem
Soybeans,
with
dairy
people
cattle,
immigrating if
beef
they
cattle.
hold the values that you like.
Well, that's actually even more. That's
Not
interesting.
fun.
That's not what I want to go
fun.
with it. But
Would
here's my
not
thing, right?
do
Okay.
again.
So we'll take that with that. If they don't hold the values, or they do hold the values. Okay. My argument is, you've made this argument with traditional values. My argument with what is an American. This is why I brought the Aztecs thing earlier. You know, nobody questions who built the pyramids in Mexico, right? Because they're hardworking.
Aaron, I see
They have a
where you're
shitload
going
of
with
kids.
this.
They
I do.
fucking the women stays at home, or she works and grandma stays at home.
see where
The
you're
nuclear
going
family, I think, is not traditional. I would argue the extended family is traditional. So
Yes.
when you're sitting here saying these things, those are the values that I would argue are traditional, and I have to do this because my Mexican contingent in my chat is rioting right now, saying this is tradition. And guys, if I'm one
I
thing,
agree,
if not
yeah.
it is a fucking
True.
grifter. That's what we're doing right now. We're grifting in my chat. So go ahead and
yeah.
y'all can explain.
Which one do you want me to explain?
Well, why the traditional Hispanic values of extended family, working, and then
even
having
necessarily
grandma
from
staying at
Earth,
home,
right?
raised by a village, having Catholic traditional values, or even further back in the Mesoamerican values that are very similar on the culture of the family and raising a unit. These are traditional values that have been around for thousands of years. The nuclear family changed all that, and Western society changed a lot of that. Why aren't those the values that are better?
So let me drop you another statistic here because this doesn't just apply to
Okay, so don't answer. I mean, I know he's not in the debate, but she's just
Mexicans. This
dodging
also
questions
applies
like
to
balls.
South Koreans and a lot of people across Asia. South Koreans typically
Yeah.
move out of their parents' house
Too
between
late,
the ages
Jess,
of
you're calming
26
down. I'm
and
just
35.
kidding.
So they
Mhm.
stay
Just kidding.
they stay in their parents' house potentially from
I
childhood
love calling
all
people
the way
commies.
in
It's
through
funny.
adulthood till they're 35 years
commie.
old. So again,
You're a commie.
it is not a tradition. The nuclear family that we have in America, that is an atypical society. So
For the fact that we leave when
Yeah.
we turn 18? Yeah.
Oh,
No,
And
Yeah,
this
but
is
when did that kick off?
what do you mean? When did that kick off?
When did we start leaving home?
When we went to college.
Mhm.
And women have always gone to college. So
They've gone to college, but they haven't moved away unless they were married off.
Gee, I don't know, like in a major way, probably like the first like World War or the Industrial Revolution.
I don't know about that. I don't know I don't know the statistics associated with whether or not women went away to college. I know my mom did in the
Imagine doing a debate on gender roles having a place in modern society and doing absolutely zero research on the trends towards women getting higher education. And then imagine when you're questioned on it, you use an anecdotal. Is this your first debate, Boo? Hey, Seth, good to see you. Welcome in. Actually, everything in the economy costs more with less people because economies are based around circulation of currency via PPP. With the population collapse, loaned money becomes liquidation to the remaining taxpayers. Mm-hmm.
80s. My mom did in the
Mhm.
80s. She went away to college
True.
and she moved away.
Yeah. I'm talking about pre-feminist.
No. GS. But yeah, hope you enjoy and hope you're gonna wind down and have a good night. But yeah, I don't think they're necessarily talking past each other. It's just none of them have good arguments. Tomato isn't doing bad, but she keeps deflecting to the birth rate, which is on deaf ears because Alish doesn't agree with that. So when you realize that your opponent doesn't agree with your sentiment or isn't able to provide adequate statistics, you make a definitive point on that. You say, okay, so you have nothing to disprove that that's not an issue. And then you move on to something else. You don't like go back to the same thing again and again and again and again. You've already buried them on that role. You just need to state it in the debate so that you get that, that tick. That's what I would do. I don't really think that this is effective the way that she's going about it. And then this chick, Alish is incapable of understanding any form of logic. And even though she purported to be on the fly with her debate tactics at the start, inventing her opening statement again to adopt Sarah's approach, it still was ineffective. And Gibbs is debating. So yeah, it's a complete
Feminism, though.
train wreck.
Okay, but
College was still available to women.
This doesn't work with your argument because pre-feminism is pre-1920. First wave feminism is essentially the right to vote. That is first wave feminism.
Oh no, are we not men?
Right.
So you would be pushing us all the way back to
messed up, Aaron. I agree.
Pre-1920s 19th Amendment. So you would
I already said at the very beginning, I'm not going to remove your right to vote. Actually, all of the freedoms that you have, you could still have all of those freedoms. All I'm saying is that we should promote motherhood and the woman's duty to
thanks for joining us.
being a mother and a wife, and not making it not making it a priority to try to work, but instead making it a priority to be a mother.
Right, but who's not promoting that? Like, who is telling telling women to not be mothers?
Have you been on social media lately? There's a gazillion posts with respect to childcare ruins your body, and like, don't be a breeding slave for your husband, and don't be a baby factory, and all this other bullshit. Scott, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your your valued mod hours, sir. You rock. Have a great night. God bless. Are We Not Men has been a member for 1 month. Really? Wow. Thank you for your patronage, sir.
Others.
Do you want to start with abortion? Do you want to start with go to college, be free, find yourself, go on your journey, go make all that money, girl? What is it, boss babe? Get that bag.
That's fine. That's fine. But you can still be a mother going to college and being a boss babe, right?
Oh my gosh. I just like, anytime somebody says that, I get this flashback to the Carolyn Levitt photo where she's taking care of her baby in like her office at the White House.
How?
And I'm just like so performative.
What do you mean how? Because
I already gave you the numbers, the stats, and everything.
I understand.
The average woman is not making hundreds of thousands of dollars. The average woman is not at the top CEO level. The average single woman is making $50,000 a year, and that's just me being nice with that number.
Yeah, then
$50,000 a year. You are not a boss babe at $50,000 a year. You are an average ho hum. You are probably even. You could even be like not a nurse, but like the level down from being a nurse, like a medical assistant, things that require all of this college, $30,000 in debt, and then just to make $50,000 a year so that you can call yourself a boss babe. I got my own money. I would have had more benefits and more duties, more benefits to society if I had just gotten married after I turned 18.
My apologies. Let me pause the stream I'm reviewing because Are We Not Men said hello in his member super chat. And that was so rude. Hello. Good to see you. How are you doing? I know we've been chatting for some time, but reintroduction is perhaps warranted. Hello, Are We Not Men? Good to see you, sir. How are you doing on this blessed evening?
Let my husband go do what he needs to do. We make babies. I'm staying home with my children, and we would have produced more for society in 10 years than me going to be a boss babe making $50,000 a year for myself and paying all of this money out in college tuition and wasting.
Don't push your luck, buddy. Okay, I see you with another hello. Okay.
Seen all of my best years doing that because I have to go explore and find myself.
Oh yeah, well maybe you should be smarter. Oh, my cat's here. Hello.
Hi, pussy.
The
Why do we
boy.
need to call cats pussies?
still a
We
pussy.
don't. We just don't.
Let's do a little bit of reframing here for the debate here, right? Because so we're talking about in modern society. That's the problem right here. So we have
Yeah.
traditional gender roles.
Oh,
what
I
are the
see
traditional roles?
consider.
What are some other traditional gender roles other than caregiver that we think need to be in
guys
society
are out
or
of
not
control.
needed in society? What? Where?
Well, I just have one quick question. So, like, I don't understand why going to college, and are you assuming that people who are going to college are automatically going to be having children as a single mother? Is that what you're kind of hinting at here? Or are you just saying that, like, being single in general is
I disagree with this. In fact, in mushrooms, she has the ability to have her toddler with her at work. Good for her. Is it good? Like, I don't know. As a boss, I'd probably be like, is there not, like, is there a childcare facility in the workplace? Like, why? Like, I don't really think you should have your child at your desk at work. I don't think that's. I don't know. I don't
Is,
think that's correct.
not good.
I might be crucified
I would
for that,
produce
but,
more for society and for my family by getting married
I don't
at
think that's
18
effective
to
way
a
to do your
husband.
job.
Even if he goes to college during
not
that time,
ideal,
I would still
anyway.
be more beneficial if we got married or whatever. I cocktail waitress for 4 years while my husband went to college. I made money the whole time. He went, got his degree. He started his first job. We got married and started making babies at 22, 23 years old. I would still be more productive for society than if I went to college those 4 years, reined in all of that college debt, the tuition debt, reined in that, and then went and started a job just to only, and I mean, starting, you're probably not making $50,000 a year, but the average for a single woman is $50,000 a year. 50,000, that is average. Like, where am I going to? I just wasted 4 freaking years of my life to make $50,000 a year. That's a fucking joke.
Yeah, that's more so an issue with the job market and college, not so much with women wanting to do not women wanting to go to college and get jobs. Right?
It's also based on experience and where you are from. Like, pay varies based on region and years of experience. So $50,000 actually isn't that bad in most areas, and even with a 4-year degree. But
Because they're doing the
all
right thing. They have the right
relative.
mindset.
But you're
of-
working with the system you have now. Like this again, you're
Right,
running
and the
you're
sys-
running girl math on me, and the girl math ain't math, and it
How is this
doesn't make
different
any
from
sense.
men? How is this different from men doing this though?
Because they make more. They generally make more, and they could even
No,
go.
Erin.
They are more likely to go and actually do specific roles that are towards their degrees, like becoming doctors, becoming lawyers, things that are very specific to that,
Look,
and
you
make
guys
more money doing
trolled
that.
every now and
But
then
even
at
at that,
something.
they still
yikes.
make more money no matter what. Why would I go and waste my time and energy if I already know that my husband, the husband or future husband, whatever, is going to make more than me anyways? And in that midst, I can work a dumb humdrum waitressing job. I'm not ashamed to do that. I wouldn't be afraid to bartend for a couple years. Whatever. Meet my husband, steal him up, have his babies, become his wife, and life is grand. And maybe I do a little fun little part-time job at the YMCA 2 hours a week just for shits and giggles. I don't know.
Why are we assuming that women? I mean, I know traditionally women make less than men, but like, why are we saying that women can't
Hey,
make
Eric,
that
good
money?
to see you.
Right.
Welcome
So
in.
let me give you an example. And I'm going to give you. What do you think I should do? I prescriptively tell me what I should do. I
Me neither,
am
Ross.
a woman. I can't.
All right. Are We Not Men has been successfully trolled at his own hello game. Congratulations, chat. I think you're starting to piss him off. Buddha with the big 2 says appropriately, hello. Just hello. That's it.
I can't reproduce. I don't have a uterus.
Is it me you're looking for?
I am single.
You know?
And I work. Where do you think I should be in my life? What should I do?
Well, there's kind of nothing else you can do
You guys
as a duty to society. Obviously, you
The
can't
collective IQ
reproduce,
right? Now
right?
of like,
Well,
So
I
in
see-
that instance, you should be in a supportive role that would help assist. This is the betterment
This
of
is a bad
society.
look for all of you.
You want to go be a boss babe? Fine, go be a fucking boss babe, because you're not going to be a mom. Do you want to foster kids? Maybe that's a different direction. Are you married? No. So like, I would tell you, get married, go foster some kids, and mother children who do actually need it. That's what I would say. But I'm not here to give prescriptions. I'm here to promote propaganda.
Yeah, but I'm giving. Huh?
I'm here to promote propaganda. I'm not giving
Her like eye twitched there slightly. She's like, what did you just say about propaganda?
prescriptions of.
By the fascist Republican Party of America? Oh my
I even
gosh.
said, keep your fucking votes. You can keep all of those
You went
things.
to
I'm not
bed,
going to
Crusader.
prescribe that you're like, you have to do these things. But what I would say, if I could give the prescription, I'd give the prescription of promoting propaganda.
Oh,
That's what
by
I
the way,
want.
I forgot to add. I'm 37,
Okay.
so I'm past the years I could have a child. Anyway,
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, we can't turn
Not
back
without
time,
the test tubes. We got the test tubes coming, boys.
The test tubes coming.
But we talk about the children a lot. And I'm gonna put my foot down. We're moving this side. Other gender roles.
Are we not men? Do you want me to give you the go ahead to time these people out for? I mean, some of them are mods, but like, do you want to get the go ahead to time out some of these people? Too bad. Not gonna give it to you. You started this, and you've got to finish it.
Yeah.
Too bad.
So
Great society. What are they?
Ring.
Should they remain?
Melissa,
what other because
Are there other
define fascism, Melissa.
gender roles?
She
Like,
walked right
Are you
into that
saying
one.
other or are there?
both? Are there other gender roles? And what are they if there are? Like, and should they remain? Like, because we focused on childbirth the entirety of this debate. So
That's
like,
what you did, or
I'm
whatever.
curious if
You
y'all
did
think there's
this.
anything else that's a gender role to women.
No,
Okay.
because childbirth is the one thing that separates us from men. That
That's
is
it. That's the
the
only one.
one core piece that's 100% separates us out. Only we can do this. That's why that's the only one that matters.
Ross, it's only too young if you're talking about getting a college education and becoming established prior to having kids. Like, yeah, then 20s is probably too young. I wasn't self-sufficient or close to it until like I mean in the sense where I like didn't have college debt and could actually support myself to some significant, ability in a comfortable-ish way. I was probably 31, 32.
So,
I think there's a lot of other things that
So,
separate
sure.
us from men. We're more
like what?
women are more
Sounds to be
emotionally are able to regulate their emotions better. Women are able to think more quickly. They are better problem solvers.
I don't know, there's
They-
like roles. Like, what's a role? Like, would like dishwasher be a role? Like, I'm making that like a jest, but like, what are like the roles
Yeah.
that you can?
Yeah. Our roles as
Well,
women
hold on,
are
I would
to
Alex
you
answer
the
that.
different
Like, what are like?
roles.
Because you just lifted like you just said like a bunch of things that women are. Like, what are the roles though? Because you said you think there are the roles. What are the other roles?
Oh, the
Oh,
roles
the
of women
fascism.
are leaders, teachers, programmers,
Oh.
So
scientists,
why are those different roles?
scientists, presidents. We almost had the woman one.
Well, Ross, now they make good money and they still had kids, so I consider that a win-win.
We love that.
But
We have a
women's
VP
gender roles,
manager.
any gender role then is what you're saying.
I consider that.
Oh yeah, because I don't really think that because I even though women are the only part of the population that can reproduce, that doesn't mean that she needs to spend her entire life around that one thing she can do.
It's
Yeah.
the
Who
one and
said
only
that?
thing she can do that nobody else can, that no men
Oh, sure, Sarah. Don't call it out for being a straw
cannot.
man.
Yeah, I know men
It's the
cannot
one
do it.
thing
But
that we can
Proceed.
do.
why do we need to take our whole lives away
Uh.
from us? Because you're saying get married at 18, which holy, that's
Even if you
crazy.
didn't, even if you again waited you waited a couple years until you found the right man, right? But you
Patient, I
still
could see,
lived at
sir.
home with your family, worked nearby, and just figured out until the right
hope
guy
so,
came along
Demeray.
and married him and pop him
That
out.
would be nice.
What if I
wouldn't
went
it?
to trade
Why
school?
are you going to waste time and money on a degree that's probably not even going to do anything for you anyways,
Buddha.
unless again you're
Hello
in the
again.
very higher level professions, right? That's the only way that you can actually validate it to me.
How
Otherwise,
come nobody's done that? Hello, darkness, my old friend.
you're making the
Yeah.
average of $50,000 a year. That is not expertise level in the industries. That is not.
PDA.
I need a master's degree in order to make $50,000 a year. That is just your
It's like
average. So
business.
probably, I'm assuming probably a 30-year-old woman who's been doing the same thing for the last 10 years and has worked her way up to $50,000.
I
So
think that's
why are
jaded.
you- wait, why
I think
are
it's a
you-
little jaded. Because like if a woman goes, so let's just say that like she didn't want to go to college, but then she was looking and she saw like, oh, I want to go to trade school and I want to become a carpenter or I don't know, a electrician. I want to become an electrician. So she goes to trade school, becomes an electrician, starts out at $100,000 a year. Where's the issue?
I want to know how many women are doing that.
Probably a fair few because I mean a
Is
lot of
that
women.
the rule or is that the exception?
I know a lot of women who work in construction, who are electricians, who work
Others.
for
Women.
I mean,
who are
nurses. Honestly, should just be paid more over.
Say it's an anecdotal, Sarah. Stop looking into the statistics. Say it's an anecdotal and ask her for the stats.
Overall as well.
Women
Here,
make up
Evan, it's
roughly
good to see
2
you.
to 3.5% of all electricians in the United States. Is
Yep.
that the exception or is it the rule?
It's the exception in
Thank
that
you. Why
industry.
why are we working in exceptions right now?
It's not optimal.
Let's see. Let's just Google
yeah,
where
Roughness,
do
I
most
know.
women
In late
work.
30s to have kids. I don't know.
Nursing, teachers, all of the same jobs
It's
that you
not
guys
good.
all did 100 years ago.
100 years ago.
If you have to and it works, great, but it's
Healthcare,
not ideal.
education, professional,
Hey,
leisure,
boy, welcome in.
and financial.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Financial would be the new one.
Yeah, financial activity. So what if we promoted to women that instead of staying home having children and doing that, we told them, why don't you go become a real estate agent? What if we promoted that, or like, why don't you get into banking or become or trades?
Because that's not promoting the benefit of society. Because if
Yes,
if they're going out and worrying about getting the career, how many years does it take before you establish your career?
So when you have these men working these jobs, what would you assume the men are doing? If you
Which
have a
jobs?
man, if you have a man who's basically the single income for the
I don't know, Ross. I
traditional
don't know her
family,
background.
or non-traditional traditional family, because obviously traditional family is an extended family. But for a traditional family
Mister.
in the United States,
some of the,
where would the man be
ladies in
working?
the
How much
chat,
money
I'm
would he
sure.
be making? What would he be doing?
The average salary of a married man, when I checked, was $70,000.
$70,000. So I don't think that people who work at
That's okay,
McDonald's,
Ross.
Chipotle,
I'm here for
Chick-fil-A,
I'm here for the
Zaxby's,
discourse
In
in
and
the
Out, I don't
chat.
think they're making $70,000, right? So if you have these roles in society that need to be filled, and you only have, like I said, 50% of the population who are fulfilling these roles, and maybe a little bit more than that, because they hired, I think, at like 15 or 16. Who's fulfilling the roles of the lower income workers?
That's I don't know. What?
No, it's an important question. It's an important question.
Wait,
It's a very important question.
So
Because
We
you're
have
assuming
5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're gonna go to closing. So just go ahead.
you
You're
have
assuming-
you have men and women, and you're saying that what about, you were talking about men and what they make, and now you're asking about the lower income roles?
Yes.
Like
because
people that work at McDonald's?
exactly. So people who work in those lower
Okay, let's see. Melissa Sylvester, the big two, thank you very much for your donation. It says birthright citizenship is just that, birthright. Well, I mean, Trump's proposition, or what, I forget what it was. I'm not as well versed on this as I'd like. Was struck down in late June, wasn't it? By the court, so it remains a thing.
lower income jobs, because if you have men who need to support women because
Yeah,
all the
everyone
women are
will
staying at
agree.
home, who is working those
But we will
lower
vote
income jobs?
on who won.
Then
right?
is he failing his duty to provide for his wife and child? Then if he didn't figure that one out, holy
Wait,
shit!
okay, but let's just say that
But
every
then you
single
also
person.
have you've got teenagers, you've got college kids, you've got all
Okay.
sorts of options. You got the
Well,
youth.
you don't
But
want
guess
them to go to
what?
college, do
Hold
you?
on. Guess
You
what?
don't want them to go to
Aloysius?
college.
You're not going to have the youth to work those dumbass jobs because we're not reproducing them. We're not
Whoa,
making them. So
those
guess what?
dumbass
Eventually,
jobs.
McDonald's is going to run out of workers, and we're not going to have any
But
freaking
we're-
McDonald's because we don't have
McDonald's right now, other than kitchen staff, is run by one cashier. The rest is all POS touchscreens.
enough people to fill those places anyway.
No, because we need men to make $70,000 a year, so they're not going to.
I used to work. I was a supervisor at McDonald's. I almost became a swing manager, but then I moved. But I was a supervisor at McDonald's, and I started off in grill, which is the back room kitchen, and then I moved to front cash, and then I became a drive-through employee. Yeah. And I was a supervisor by the time I became a drive-through.
Average man
either.
makes $70,000 a year.
Yeah,
Very different than
McDonald's
today.
doesn't pay that unless it's a franchise.
So
So the
Sure.
average,
They
why
can
are
make
you
me look
working
bad,
in
it's fine.
exceptions again? The
This isn't an
average man
exception.
makes
How many McDonald's are
I
there?
don't care if the chat's low
The
IQ
average, I'm
right
sorry, it was the
now.
average married man makes $70,000 a year.
What
These
is the
are
average
the
salary?
Plus, I made them listen to this debate. So, I mean, if they lost a couple brain cells, it's probably my fault, right?
This is
Right.
the average. You are working in exceptions,
Okay.
not rules.
No, these are not exceptions. These are
I
all
was
of
a
these
teenager,
exceptions. You understand
ravenous.
that all of these exceptions that I'm building up right now, they become overwhelmingly the rule.
16
Okay,
to
you have people who have these
18
traditional
McDonald's.
lives. They are not the standard. Most families do not have currently a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home
Thanks,
husband.
Ross.
Okay,
I won't say how much
this is
I
not the this is the rule.
But I
And it's
live
because
in
of
a
all these
bigger
things.
area
Or you can just
of the
eliminate
country,
half of the pleasantries you have in society, which are having convenience things like getting fast food or going to the gym or doing anything that would require somebody to have a minimum wage job. Because working at Target, for example, or getting a job, going to
Yes,
Target.
26.
None of these things are going to
Yes,
exist
it's
unless we have a
546
part of society.
calories.
If we have a 2-income household, or we have, because your suggestion, your prescription was that people at 18 move out and get married, right? And then have kids. So 22, 23, so 3 years they can work at Target while their husband is doing
You
a
guys are
career.
hungry
Is
for
that?
McDonald's, aren't you?
And again,
Oh yeah.
You could be like
Able the what was it? The SpaceX like part of the detached rocket or whatever hit the moon.
maybe
At
I'm
2
having a
a.m.?
hard time kind of putting it all together because I live a very non-traditional life and I'm fine. And I know a lot of other people who live a non-traditional life.
She's in a room right now with a bunch of stuffed animals and some crazy decorating choices. Her decorating choice is not fine. Okay.
So I'm just having a hard time understanding how
Something
this
is not
all
right.
is a extraneous,
Tree
non-traditional
dog.
thing. 'Cause
Okay.
It sounds like
yeah.
you're arguing.
20 is it says 25 to 30% of married couple families with children under 18 feature a stay-at-home parent. Okay, that's pretty close to 50%,
That's
right?
true.
In terms of if we could get it there, I'd be a
No,
happy camper. I said if we could get it there, I'd be a happy camper.
70%,
All right.
70% of parents both work.
Hold on a second. But even at that, if we take the egalitarian couples that on average, the average husband and wife who both work and have what they consider an egalitarian household make $60,000 a year each. Okay, I already ran the math for you earlier. We're
Why is
in
she
the
being so
negative on what
angry?
mom
I think she's triggered, guys. I think
on what
something has
mom is
happened to
what
Sarah.
mom is what it costs for mom to
doing the
go to
hand
work. She's
talking
not
thing,
making a
nice.
whole lot of gain, right? If those women that are in those egalitarian,
does it look
we
like I'm
both
having a
work, we
seizure?
both help, we
This is
both
bad.
this, we both that. If they
is a
quit
bad
their
look for
job,
me.
yes, they lose $60,000 worth of income, but at the same time, they're also not paying all of these other expenses out. Therefore,
Well,
I
you
could
just
get
gave a
all
completely
I got
different
all of
scenario.
those egalitarian, both of them work people that both make $60,000 each. If I got the wives to quit and just be a stay-at-home mother, I could fill it back up to where at least we could hit 50. I think we could hit 50%. It's not the standard. That's why I'm trying to make it the standard. It's become the exception, and that is
I know this sounds like a political speech, and I know that she's not running for office, but please, guys, if she does, please hear my plea. Let's not vote
the
for
problem.
that. Okay.
So I
mean,
am
if it's
running the
between
numbers again.
Sarah
She gave me a
and-
completely different number this time.
If it's between Sarah and the other chick for office, I guess we have to vote for. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can. I'm not gonna vote. That's okay. I'm just not gonna vote.
For
Somebody else
egalitarian
vote for me.
couples?
Do the deed.
An
that I cannot.
egalitarian-
Yeah, for an egalitarian couple, you said $60,000 a year, so that's 120K between the two. You have 27,000 for traditional funds. You have 22,500 for like school and childcare and
Let's not
whatever.
ask people questions
have-
about their H-1Bs and visas.
Yeah, I
and
said
stuff,
earlier you'd
okay?
probably be
Unless
left
you're-
with like $5,000 to $10,000 in your pocket.
Please don't do
Okay.
that in my chat.
But $5,000 to $10,000 a year in your pocket.
So 120.
That would be
Interesting,
worse
really.
than working a job at McDonald's, Alish.
Yeah.
I don't-
I'll let Alice respond and say I'll get you to go one more time with that. Then we're going to close it. All right, go ahead, Alice.
Let me just run this math real quick.
And then, while we're back, I'm going to extend an invite to these two if they would like to go another 15, 20 minutes if they want. But I'm not going to be moderator anymore because I have a lot of umbrances with a lot of the things that have happened, and I want to pose some questions to both of them if they're down. If not, then I'll fuck off. That's fine too. But all right, go ahead, Alice. We're going to go Sam.
Gibbs, you alrety did that. What's stopping you now?
We
Okay?
can go to closing. It's fine. It's a much bigger number. It is about like $10,000 to $15,000 more. But before you didn't want to calculate that in. I don't know why this calculator sucks.
So you think it's worthy of working 40 hours a week and being away from your children and having about 1 to 2 hours of time with your child?
Yes, because listen.
Let's just say $15,000
Yeah, so
extra.
Let's absolutely for $15,000. No, it's not $15,000 extra. It's way more. It's way more than that. It's 120K household.
You have to negate what hi Pumpkin. You have to negate what she's making, what she's paying out just to go to work.
Yeah,
you
so
remove all of that. You said 10 to 50. You did the math. I'm trusting your girl math here.
I'm not. Hold on.
Mushroom.
I'm not trusting the math because I was left with
Mushroom,
negative
behave yourself,
$15,000. Or yeah,
Ross is a
negative
good supporter of the show.
$1,500.
Okay. That was on the if she made the average of a $50,000.
So now we have $60,000.
That was based on a single woman's income.
As Candace Owens would say, get us those questions.
So if you're just applying that $50,000,
what's the Barbie question, Melissa?
We're just going to look at it that way. If
Say
she
it
decided
again.
to work, right now in an egalitarian, the average is 60,000 and 60,000.
Yeah, so it's 58,000.
What?
500. Is if they both make 120. I'm sorry, if they both make 60,000.
Oh, okay.
Because she ended up with negative $1,500.
Right.
If her husband makes 60,000, That's
That's not allowed in the-
$58,500
That's not allowed.
for money. $120,000 is a lot. And you know what? We're even going to add in, how much was my thing this year? We're going to add in 35,000. So we're going to add in like rent or something. Okay. Anyway, we can go to closings. But
sure. Alice, you're up first on the closing anyway. So if you'd like to start, what you got, we'll give you 4 minutes here.
Okay, cool. So essentially what I think I have proven tonight is that it makes more sense for both mother and father to have a job, as it provides more money. We could argue that perhaps maybe you spend less time with your children, but in general, if the father's only working, then the father is kind of losing out on that time with his kid anyway, because he's working most of the time and only bringing in half of the income. I would also argue that like the traditional family that we're looking for is not actually the traditional family of the United States, but is the traditional family, something more so you would find overseas, in which parents usually kids live with their parents up to the age of possibly 35 years old maximum, usually between the ages of 23 and 35 that they move out. So,
dude, why are you doing statistics in a closing statement? Why?
So that's the traditional household
Why?
Overseas, which would mean
closing statement is just wrap up, say what your opponent did, say what your opponent didn't do, say what you demonstrated, conclusion statement. That's it. That is it. That is it.
That we're able to, people should migrate in here, because it actually, if we want to appeal
it's been too long since my last
Sarah's prescription, then that would actually fulfill her prescription. However, as it is right now, we have to focus on the fact that we now have a non-traditional society in which you simply cannot live on the income that you're going to get at any specific job. You need a 2-family or 2-person income in order to make any headway in society. And having kids now seems more egalitarian than kids. Not having kids, then having kids. And yes, we can argue that the birth rate or replacement rate is going to fall. But I mean, given that we have 338 million people in the United States right now, we could possibly, as opposed to 228 million in 1990, we can stand to lose some. But also, if we, again, allow more immigration to the country, we will maintain that birth rate, because they believe in that traditional family value. I appreciate having me on today, and I appreciate talking to you today, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah should just say she has no answers about the birth rate other than immigration is a problem. Solver. She has no metrics or demonstrate that's sustainable, or even why that would be something that American people would be motivated to, considering there's an interest in cultural preservation. She's been unable to answer questions with respect to whether or not traditional gender roles actually benefit women, primarily focusing on the fact that women should have the option, and she's conflated terms like healthcare and access without actually providing any meaningful value statement. With that, I yield. I've already demonstrated that they have a place in modern society. My opponent herself admitted that it is necessary in some capacity to reproduce, and have a great night, guys. That's what she should say. If she doesn't say that, I won't be surprised. Kokomo with the big 15s.
Sam or Samantha? I'm sorry.
Sammy, Samantha.
Yeah, Sam.
Anywho, Owlish sits here and she's more worried about whether the dad gets to have time with the children or not. But at the same time, she wants to then take the mother away from being with the children, and it promotes neither parent having time with the children. So I'm not sure why we're so concerned about dad when I'm offering an opportunity for mom to be there, and dad can have the advantages of everything's already done. So we don't even have to split workload, split care, split this, split that. Things at home are done, and dad can go focus on his job, come home and just be with the children, because all of the other things are worried about. Alice is so concerned about money. This seems to be the everlasting, well, I should go and make money. I should work and be away from my children because money me now, which you should all be sending me money, by the way. But inevitably, at the end of the day, that money we've discovered isn't actually that much more money than in terms of what is worth losing all of that time with our children. You can go from having a full 8 hours to 12 hours a day with your child to instead just 1 hour of quality time. Or I can just spend all day with my kids and just be the mom, because that is a job.
Sarah, you don't need to repeat the points you've already convinced us on in your closing. You just need to simply state that you failed to satisfy any kind of questions that you had on the matter. restate the matter and move on. Oh, my Lord Almighty, have mercy. Okay, Tiny, good to see you. Welcome into the show.
Job in and of itself.
Day.
And even though Mr. Corporation is not signing my paycheck, doesn't make it any less worthy, and it doesn't make it any less meaningful. In fact, I'm
in the chat. I know I'm saying hello to my chat.
Doing
Why
my
are you guys
duty to society. I'm procreating, and I'm creating a lot of you little more bastard tomatoes out there ready to come rock and roll. At the end of the day, I think we should, in fact, make room for our traditional gender roles. I think we should promote mothers wanting to be mothers, women wanting to be mothers. I think we should promote I think we should propaganda this shit all the way to high heaven, that motherhood is in fact the highest job of all of society, and nobody else can replace it. No man can do it. Nothing can take it away from us, because once you become a mother, you'll always be a mother. I'm gonna leave it right there. Thank you, Gibbs, too.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and like I said, if y'all are willing, I would like to go the next couple minutes here, just because I want to take the moderator out and kind of hit y'all with something, because y'all I don't think
I'm not going to make you guys suffer through that. I don't know what Gibbs has to ask them, but I was already convinced on this debate. Like, yeah, I know, Mushroom, I know it was a lot. No oughts. Buddha just is, and they weren't even great on these statistics. Please vote in the chat who you think won the debate. It can't be Gibbs, Buddha. It can't win. It can't be Gibbs. Gibbs can't win the debate. Okay. What did I think on that? Well, I've already kind of told you guys throughout. I think that neither of them had really great arguments. It was very clear to me from the get-go that Sarah's arguments primarily centered around the birth rate and very little else. She didn't contemplate things like AI replacing the workforce. She didn't contemplate any meaningful form of statistics in terms of like what age can a woman have kids, right? At what age does a woman become self-sufficient simply based on her educational ability and career accolades? And at what age is that necessarily aligning or not aligning with her reproductive capacity, right? Oh my gosh. We got a pink super chat in the house. Ross with the big 50 says, my sincere apologies, all you beautiful people in the chat. Yes, that means you too, probably the haters. I'm usually humble, however, I've been overly facetious this evening. It's unthoughtful to boast, especially in public, when life can be quite challenging for people. Thank you, Ross. You rock. Also, congratulations on your awesome family. It seems like everything worked out, regardless of what people want to say about timelines and whatnot. So, good stuff. And thank you, as always, for your patronage. You rock. But yeah, sorry, back to the... pink super chats just, blew me away. And red ones even more so. I might lose my ability to speak for a couple of minutes if you do that. Yeah. I don't think that this was a very well done debate. I'm going to use the words that Sarah used against me. It was a rookie debate. It was a rookie debate. It was very clear, okay, that neither of these two ladies, okay, knew, that they needed some help, and yeah, I mean, it was basically like watching two noobs debate. That's what she said about my debate with Kel. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say. Isn't this? I told you this would be cathartic. I said at the get-go, I said this is going to be cathartic. She had all of this crap to say about my debate. And she even guided us, like ironically Gibbs did with these two ladies, about statistics, and was like, hey, Cal, what about this statistic? And criticized my statistic. So it was, in fact, very cathartic watching Gibbs do the same thing. And now I get to do the same thing that Sarah did. So... they say that life gives you gifts in an unexpected way, and here we are. Here we are. So great. Even though we lost some brain cells, I got something out of this, right? And you guys were amazing too for sticking with me. 55 concurrent viewers is amazing at 4:19 in the morning. So we need to raid you guys somewhere. Before we do, Johnny Dollar with the big 10 jewels, thank you very much, sent hiding. What are you hiding from, Johnny? Thank you for your donation, and I hope that the rubies eventually accumulate. No clue how I still get them. Yes, are we not men? I am still talking. Look at, what are Rob's streams called? I'm speaking now, okay? I'm speaking now. I think that's the Bry Shout joke. Okay, should I leave on live chat replay? You guys weren't that bad, right? I'll leave on live chat replay. People always like, you need to leave on live chat replay so we can enjoy. I'm like, okay. All right, options for the we got Nemo's Dreamscapes, which is oldies music. I like that, but I don't know if you guys will. And then we've got Elder Lion. Apparently, he is celebrating a monetization. Let's go send him a like, and if you don't mind his commentary, I think it's usually really hilarious. Send him a subscribe. He's just been monetized, so please congratulate him on that. Huge thank you to everybody who came in, who live chatted, who supported the show. If you subscribed this evening, we got a couple new subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to all our members, including Are We Not Men, who sparked an entire chat campaign to say hello way too many times. And you guys didn't even do it in a different language, okay? Where are your skills? I want to hear different languages. I said, and nobody even called me out on it. That's Russian for hello. How are you doing, by the way? I'm just kidding. You guys rock. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is for you. And until the next time, God bless and toodles. Bye.